did have one of those lists that came through 3 days on a charge.
Oh, geez.
No, that's incorrect.
Yeah.
They'll never do that.
I don't think they will ever get to that point. Second down, Keith David turns 70 years old today. What actor
King David?
Keith.
King David, long gone.
What actor is severely underrated, in your opinion?
Is Keith David underrated?
In my opinion, yes.
Oh, boy, he was great in American Fiction.
I'll ask so Brown doesn't have to. Who's Keith David?
I know David Keith. David Keith's an actor too, right?
David Keith is the Tennessee fan that was in An Officer and a Gentleman.
That's right.
Keith David was in Dead Presidents. He was also the father or the stepfather in Something About Mary.
Yeah.
He was the pork and beans.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy is. Yeah, I've seen him.
I know
Okay.
who he is.
Yeah.
I just never know about his names.
Yep, he was also in The Thing and They Live.
I'll tell you who's underrated is Stephen Root.
Stephen Root is
funny
underrated.
guy too.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, he's on Widow's Bay right now, and like he's one of those guys, in Barry. I don't know if you guys watched Barry on HBO. He was in Boardwalk Empire. He was in No Country for Old Men. He was Milton in Office Space. I mean, he's one of those guys, just a character actor that's never going to get any limelight. But man, he's really, really a solid addition to all of those films.
I have. Go ahead, Jim.
Is Sam Rockwell underrated?
No, probably
Nope.
not. I mean, he's got Academy Award, but I mean, he is a great actor.
Yeah, he's solid. I don't hear many people talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like he's never going to be a leading man where he's going to be a box office draw.
Have you seen the Billboards movie though? That's his best role.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
he was
in that.
incredible in
Gosh,
that.
he's so good.
I like him in Vice. He does a great job as George W.
He was good in The Green Mile as a bad teeth prisoner.
What's the name of the movie where he plays like the Grand Wizard? Not a Grand Wizard, but he's in the Klan, and his wife's trying to get him. I can't remember the name of the movie now, but he plays
Tour.
I don't know why you hate on that movie. That's a good flick, and you've never even watched it. And you're like,
I think it's
"Ah,
actually a good movie too.
It is a good movie.
Yeah.
Neil McDonough for me. Do you know who Neil McDonough is?
Yeah, he looks like albino.
Yeah.
He's got a strange look. He is a good actor. He plays a bad guy really well. He's in right now. He's in The Tulsa King.
The first place I saw him was Band of Brothers, and he played a tremendous role in Band of Brothers. And then I've seen him in a few other things, and I always like him in those.
He was in Minority Report. He's been in a ton of stuff. He was in
solid
Yellowstone.
Guy. Solid guy.
What about the Culkin kid from Secession? Is he underrated?
Kieran?
I mean, he won an Academy Award too, but I mean, he's very, very good. I mean, he's probably still not. I guess he is the biggest name in his family
the
now.
Underrated Culkin at this point.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a third one? I didn't know there was a third one.
I think there's a fourth too
Oh,
that
Lord.
doesn't act. But there's Culkins everywhere. They're popping up like Skarsgårds.
Third down.
And by the way, underrated actor is Tom Cruise as far as being able to act.
Wow.
People will take that away because he does all these stunts and he flies planes and he does all these action movies. But Tom Cruise can act.
16 hours ago, I didn't know what Skarsgårds were. And now my 7-year-old niece, grandniece maybe now, my niece's daughter, turned 7 yesterday, and she had a Skarsgård, if I'm thinking it's the same thing, themed birthday party. Is it a cartoon character? No?
No.
Okay.
It's
I
Stellan.
gotta find the Skarsgård cartoon.
It's Alexander.
character.
It's Bill, who I was on a plane with going to London a couple of weeks ago.
Hoodies and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, The Next Round. presented by Bud Light, is on now.
85 days away from the start of the college football season. Man, we got a lot going on in a calendar time of year when it's not supposed to be a lot going on. We'll get to our college football stuff. We've got college basketball news, SEC, AC pairings, ACC challenge pairings we'll talk about.
Is this from fake Rothstein or is this real?
This is real Rothstein this time. It was funny that fake Rothstein, which is why it fooled me because I knew it was supposed to be released. Fake Rothstein puts it out and I bite on it. And real Rothstein and everyone else puts it out later on. We'll get to that coming up. We got the NBA Finals, Stanley Cup. Baseball starts today, all the Super Regionals. That's coming up in a second. We were just talking, though, about the pandemic, and I'd forgotten my Tampa Bay Rays were in the pandemic World Series. The Bucks won the pandemic Super Bowl. Alabama won the pandemic national championship. It was a good time for me. I can get lost in my own head of imagination, which was good during that time. Our buddy Joel Klatt is in my Lost in My Imagination video game that I go to often when I'm just missing college football, EA Sports College Football. We get this news last night. I forget if it was Forrester or Brown who sent it in our group text, but Joel Klatt is one of the voices in EA Sports College Football 2027. Brent, I know you reached out to him.
Yeah, I was texting with Klatt last night. So the way this works, I haven't played this game in a very long time.
I played it last night.
But
Tulane opened the new season on the road with a win at LSU.
But wow.
Battle for the rack. We get it late, man.
You're going to get somebody fired beating LSU with Tulane at Tiger
How do you
Stadium.
balance your dynasty in golf?
Daytime, nighttime, right?
Golf, dinner, golf, shower, dinner,
Dynasty.
EA Sports.
Do you see your wife? I'm just asking.
Yes, but she's got to preach on Sunday. She was working on a sermon
She's
last
the dinner
night.
part. Yeah. So the way I understand it is you can select big game, and that's what brings in Fowler and Klatt and Holly Rowe, right?
I mean, it decides if it's a big enough game for the biggest broadcast.
Jeez, he gets trumped on big game.
No, he is big game.
Okay, I was
if
about
it's
to say
big game. It's
because
Klatt.
was Brock not part of it last year? Because Brock was telling me throughout the process, like I can't really talk about this.
Yeah.
But when it becomes, so I think Brock was the guy last year, wasn't he?
Brock may have been in Madden. Was he in Madden?
I thought he was college.
I played college all year, and I've had zero Brock. It's always Reese, Pollock, and Palmer, unless it's a playoff game or a big enough game that you're the game of the week. I had Fowler Herbstreit last night to open the season at Tiger Stadium.
Well, however it works. What an honor.
I did a lot of these.
Oh, did you? You told the LSU fans to shut up?
It was Madden
Brock
25.
Done both the college football franchise and the Madden
Wow,
franchise.
that.
This isn't surprising, though, right? I mean, like he is the number 2 face of college football as far as an analyst.
A little surprising only because, Lance, they're mixing him in with the ESPN people. Not that ESPN owns this property. It's EA Sports, but
you get hired as a freelancer.
Yeah.
But I would assume ESPN would like to mix him in their regular.
Oh, probably so, yeah, if they could get Klatt.
And that's what I was saying. Maybe this is the
Well, he gets finally called some good games in this,
I know.
right?
I mean, if you were Klatt.
That's what I tweeted it.
Oh, God.
I tweeted him. I said, finally, you get to call some tough road SEC night games.
I mean, hey, that is true, though.
He texted me because, I could not even.
What do you respond with?
He did.
He texted me because here's what I tweeted. And it was a low blow. I'll admit it. And I apologize to him. He took it in good spirit as he does. And then we ended up texting back and forth about golf. But I tweeted, if you play as an SEC team in the deluxe version, you get to watch a simulation of Joel Klatt joining the next round and criticizing your team.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
He was like, oh, come on. I said, oh, I'm kidding with you, Klatt. He goes, no, I thought it was hilarious. I laughed. And then we start texting each other about golf.
Speaking of which, I'm surprised he gets to play because doing UFL,
he just won his club championship. That's what we were texting about.
That is crazy.
Yeah, he's got it dialed in.
Yeah.
But also for him.
Meanwhile, Maggie, full-time job, 4 years of college, and preaching this Sunday. But I've got free time. I mean, I don't have to spend a lot of time with her. She's working.
That's
really
right. She's
hard.
working.
She's busting her ass. She doesn't have a lot of free time. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's awesome for Klatt because we consider him one of the voices of college football. This legitimately tells the world you're one of the voices of college football.
Absolutely. Alternate covers out there as well. AI is a brilliant thing. Of all the jokes you can make about fired coaches from last year, one alternate cover hit yesterday of all the Hugh Freeze swinging a golf club.
That's pretty good.
That's an alternate cover that's out there at college football. The game comes out in July. Some new features on it if you're a gamer. as they try to make it so realistic. Here are some of the new features. Brown, you asked yesterday at Tulane, could I build a new stadium?
Yeah, can you?
You can now in the new game. New
Wow.
stadium is a feature. You can build your new stadium and design it however you want to build it. Other features, Forster, just run through the panel quickly because not everybody plays video games. You can pick crowd themes, like you can have a stripe out, blackout.
Right. Everybody wear white. Yeah. Okay.
And this is all from Field Rush, by the way. They got an early version of this.
Here we go.
NIL is used to recruit and keep players.
Do you have a budget?
No, of course you're going to have to
So
have a
you
budget.
can only
yeah.
I can only spend, like, if you're Tulane.
I'm wondering like how accurate
No.
the budgets are per
That's
program.
what I was about to say, because you're playing Tulane. I bet your budget is like $15 million.
Well, I know
or
my
something.
recruiting points because I've played with monster teams before. I've been at Alabama or others before, and I would have 1,200 points to spend in recruiting, and at Tulane I've only got 800.
Right.
So that's 400 more, and the most you can spend on each player recruiting is 50.
So that was about like money. It was just
so
called
it's about
points.
like money.
Can
yeah.
you can you watch a commercial and get more money? You know how you do that on some of those apps? Like, if you watch this commercial, you get extra lives.
You can express interest in other jobs now. So it's
So it's very real.
This is the video game version of the Lane Kiffin rule, right?
Can people get suspended for gambling or speeding?
Yeah. I mean, there was a time your guys would be injured or suspended. I don't know if I have injuries on or not, but I'm a healthy Tulane team.
I love the Madden 92, I think it was, when they would bring the meat wagon out and run players over.
Oh, yeah.
What
That's
would
crazy.
be awesome is if you could hire like actual agent, like you hire Jimmy Sexton, so you're up for every job that's open.
That's right.
Or
That's
you
right.
hire, this.
I'm
This
getting
agent.
a raise or a job every year.
That's right,
A
every
raise
single
or
year.
a job
Yeah.
every year. And you can flip verbal
Yeah.
commitments. So it's very, very realistic now. EA Sports comes out in July. But we wanted to say congratulations to our buddy Joel Klatt, part of the game now, labeled as one of the voices of college football by being in the college football game. And he won his
Club championship.
club championship in golf, which is a really, really big. That doesn't pay him like all this other stuff does. And I don't know how much Reese and Joel get for taking the time to voice this, but the voice stuff they have to do on this is insanity.
Oh, I mean, you think about every player, every play. I mean, it's thousands and thousands of cuts they have to do. I bet Klatt doesn't even play. I bet he played. Like everybody played at one point.
Yeah.
But I would almost guarantee he doesn't even play.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's just got to go in and say, boy, that was a tremendous catch there.
Oh, it's a
boy,
whole list.
that was a tremendous catch there. Boy, was that a tremendous catch.
I will tell you that the Herb Street Fowler crew,
Yeah.
very little.
Differentiation.
yeah. Well, you're not going to get. Hey, look, I'll do 1,000.
Yeah, that's all I'm
1,000
doing.
sounds, that's
Yeah.
it.
That's right. They don't
Yeah.
broadcast as much as the Reese, Pollock, and Palmer. I mean, it's almost like they're watching the video game with you.
No, here's what.
Yeah.
Here's Herb
one
Street's
sheeter?
agent. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is
I'll
what
read
Kirk
this-
will agree to.
I'll read this whole page. That's it for me.
Klatt, this is probably Brock and Klatt's first one. This is what you're going to do.
I mean, Reese is like, oh, man, he got 1 foot down on that one. Oh, he got 1 foot down right in front of the yard marker. Oh, he got 1 foot down right in front of the... I mean, the things that Reese describes is crazy.
The fella's like, that was a catch.
Let's get it.
It's got to be good money, though.
I would think so.
Yeah, I would imagine. The bigger name you are, the bigger amount
Yeah,
of
I mean,
money
I would
it
think
is.
mid six figures.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to say Klatt was more excited about winning his club championship, but that was more of the text thread there.
That's what I think I just said that.
Yeah.
What matters, what pays him the least, that matters the
That's
most
right.
was that club championship. Alexander Shinara gets us into what's happening today and what's going on in the college world. We'll start with baseball because it is huge. A couple of reasons we can show you it's huge after Alexander Shinara explains to us what he has done for our community.
Yeah, Shinara.com, Shinara.com. That is Alexander Shinara. Jim said what he's done for our community. Alexander Shinara, born and raised in Birmingham, went to school at UAB, roommates with our guy AK, Andy Kennedy. That's a heck of a roommate. And when it came time for him to build his firm, he could have done this anywhere. Alexander Shinara is a very talented guy. They've recovered more than $2 billion. You know where that works? Any city in America. So he said, I want to take care of my community, though. And he built his firm right here in Birmingham, Alabama. 150 attorneys later in-house, 500 dedicated team members later in-house. Alexander Shinara is still doing it right here in Birmingham, Alabama, more than 25 years later. You find yourself in need of any legal assistance, you go to the Birmingham guy, Alexander Shinara. Shinara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shinara.com.
Okay, series that start today, USC at North Carolina. Cal Poly at West Virginia. At West Virginia, Forrester, they are sold out. Apparently, they want an expanded stadium. Fan says we're leaving money on the table. But there's a ridge out there. They call it Randy's Ridge on the radio broadcast.
Good old Randy.
So they're opening up Randy's Ridge where they expect another couple of thousand people to be able to get on Randy's Ridge up there. And even the AD says for free, and we're going to put portable restrooms out there for you. And they're giving away 1,000 free pepperoni rolls if you're out on Randy's Ridge.
This is not the pizza roll that used to destroy your mouth because you throw it in when it was too hot. The pepperoni roll, I thought, was more of kind of like the pinwheel.
We've got pictures and an explanation of why the pizza roll and the pepperoni roll became a problem in a discussion. Hit it, Forrester. What is it, man? Tell us what happened.
It became a conversation yesterday because Reddit CFB quote tweeted the West Virginia AD's tweet saying that that free pizza rolls would be supplied, which is not accurate because there is a difference.
1,000 pizza rolls, not a lot.
No, I mean you get an offensive line probably in the NFL could handle 1,000 pizza rolls.
Yeah, you can buy a bag from Walmart for $12.
But 1,000 pepperoni rolls are different.
Much different.
Show them to us.
Mm-hmm. That's those would be your traditional pizza rolls on the left, and a pepperoni roll on the right.
Yeah, stoned is bad. I'll take the ones on the left any day, but
better
on the right, not even close. I would eat that sober for lunch.
Yeah,
and by the way, the ones on the left are about the size of a $50, right? They're not as. Those aren't comparable in sizes. The pictures are distorting.
And fresh out of the microwave, they will end the roof of your mouth.
Oh, no doubt. You got to let those babies cool.
So I was expecting something more like a stromboli, like a mini stromboli.
That's what that is. The pepperoni roll is.
It's like a little calzone.
Yeah, it's a calzone and a sandwich. Calzone and a sandwich had a baby. It's a stromboli.
Give me a size of that. How big are we talking
I would say a normal stromboli would be about like that.
Yeah, but I think those are cut in half, so it's more like the palm of your hand.
Yeah. Okay. So a normal stromboli would probably be like a 10-inch sub, 10 to 12-inch sub.
Yeah, and
you can slice it up into pieces.
The thing here is going to be the breading.
Yeah, because those things, if you cook them too long, that breading gets so crunchy.
Or it can be gnawing. You don't want it to be gnawing.
It's got there's a sweet spot there, and if they're doing them in bulk at 1,000, you're probably not going to be in the sweet spot.
By the way, biggest number today on the board of the 4 regionals that go off, the 4 super regionals, is West Virginia minus 280 against Cal Poly.
Cal Poly, West Virginia. If I was there, I think I'd prefer to watch it on Randy's Ridge than jammed into a seat behind home plate
with a pepperoni roll for sure. Yeah,
and a porta potty.
Does the dude with the musket show up for baseball?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Maybe home runs. You would think he'd fire it off.
I do not remember
right?
seeing him last week, and I watched a good bit of that.
But it's a super regional now, so maybe you roll him out for this.
Yeah, you get all the mascots now. Probably have cheerleaders there today. Haven't been there for 100 games, but you'll be there today.
The baseball guys are like, where have all these people been?
Little Rock and Troy start their super regional. Either Little Rock or Troy will be in the College World Series next week. Down at Troy, they've had to bring in more aluminum bleachers, over 600 extra seats out over, I think it's the left field fence. Where do those bleachers come from?
Where do they come from?
Local high school, I bet.
Nope. They shipped them in from Gulf Shores, the city of Gulf Shores, who I think uses them for the sand volleyball national championships and other events.
Well, I think Gulf Shores also, and Forrester would know this better than any of us, but I think they host a bunch of different baseball tournaments down there.
Yeah, like travel ball and stuff like that.
So, there are a ton of those kids down there, so I'm sure there's parks all over the place where you can get these pulled in.
Yeah, they've got a big metro plex, baseball, softball.
So the city of Gulf Shores, Troy and them reached out, and they said, we'll help you out. So the Troy folks went down, picked up the bleachers, and brought them out. So they go today as well.
Minus 245 for the Trojans, second biggest number on the board today.
Okay. Auburn coming up in a second. USC's at North Carolina today. I sort of think USC's a sneaky upset favorite.
Which is weird because, as we talked about, this is weird travel for them. Of course, being in the Big Ten, I'm guessing they've done this. I haven't looked at USC's schedule, but I'm going to guess they either had to travel to Penn State or Rutgers or somewhere like that to play a weekend series. So I guess they've done this.
Yeah, look, and they've had plenty of time from Monday to where they are today on a Friday. They are the shortest number right now. North Carolina's minus 154 total of 9.5 here. I played USC last Friday night against Texas State, and they had a 3-run lead and ended up losing. I mean, they score a ton of runs, but I don't know if you can trust the pitching against North Carolina.
An Ole Miss at Auburn tonight in prime time. Here's Butch Thompson. Remember, Auburn lost their very first game in the regional at home to Wisconsin-Milwaukee and then battled their way out of it to now be hosting the Super Regional where they're a hefty favorite against Ole Miss. Here's Butch.
I don't know, again, what the path or journey is for us completely, but I know last Thursday compared to this Thursday, we have a stronger, more convicted team. There's no doubt. Going through something like we just did makes you a stronger team. So we got that going for us, and I'm kind of glad we had to go through that. If they got something for the rest of their life they can look back on, like I've had my back against the wall one time, and I did this, this, and this. That was the first thing we've won. We didn't win the regular season, SEC. I mean, we lost a 2-1 ball game with a chance, and we didn't get a chance to play for the SEC championship in the tournament last week. We won nothing, and then we come out and lose a game and then go hook it up and win 4 games, and it was hard. I wanted this team to win something. That's how good I think they are, that I wanted this thing before we got to the end for them to win something. But I think it's made an opportunity for us to have a stronger team. And if we need to be stronger to handle a great team like Ole Miss, so be it. I'm here for it.
That's Butch Thompson on the journey to get to the Super Regionals tonight. As LT pointed out earlier this week, tied for the third shortish odds to win the national championship, behind only North Carolina and Texas. Do I have that right? North Carolina plus 380?
I think Auburn was 5th shortest.
This morning I was looking at FanDuel. North Carolina plus 380, Texas plus 450, and Georgia and Auburn both at plus 550 to win the national championship, according to FanDuel earlier today.
And Auburn is minus 180 in this first matchup, a total of 10.
Real quick, back to USC. This helps your argument. Their Big Ten road trips this year included UCLA, which is just across town, obviously. That's an easy one. But they've also gone to Northwestern, Maryland, Nebraska, and Oregon.
Yeah. So
that is a traveled team right there, my friend. They are well traveled, so I don't think flying cross country to Chapel Hill is going to hurt them any.
All right. So, by the way, just we talked a couple of times about how much the viewership was up last week for this. The attendance, obviously, packing these little stadiums out. All 8 College World Series teams from last year, all 8 of them did not make it to the Super Regionals. So it's been a more than an NFL-like turnover on who's playing for a chance to go to Omaha. There'll be 0 teams that were in Omaha last year back in Omaha this year.
Yeah, and I want to put up one more little point. Alabama is the biggest favorite to get out of the Super Regional.
Whoa. So the biggest favorite of any team in the Super Regional?
I mean, they're minus 425 against St. John's.
So Alabama's the biggest favorite to actually make Omaha.
Yep.
St. John's at Alabama is a Saturday region, along with Oklahoma, Kansas, Oregon at Texas, and Mississippi State at Georgia, which is a tremendous series there. Georgia is the highest seeded team left. CBS Sports projects St. John's to get out of the Tuscaloosa region.
So they went with the biggest underdog to get out, huh?
That's the biggest upset CBS Sports had when they were projecting the winners. They have St. John's winning. Alabama, I know, sold out the Saturday game. I think they're working on the Sunday game. What are tickets like tonight at Plainsman Park? I think it's sold out, but you can still get in secondary market. Is that correct, Forrester?
Yeah, quite a range. You can get in from anywhere from about $60 to close to $1,000.
Are you kidding? $1,000 for a college baseball game?
Not even one in Omaha.
That is insane.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So
grand
secondary market there. Brad Logan, who covers the state of Mississippi, was tweeting last night. For a moment, there were very few, if any, available on, I don't know which service he was looking at. There were 2 tickets available for the Ole Miss Auburn game tonight. Yeah. And I tweeted out, I was like, ooh, Auburn locked down. They're not selling to Ole Miss fans, as Brad was pointing out. And then as I tweeted that, then people started sending me screenshots from other sites saying, oh, you can get in. Here's the prices. And that's the one Forrester has for you there. So that's the Supers that are going on starting tonight and tomorrow in Tuscaloosa. Best of 3 series. Winners go on to Omaha in what should be a very fun weekend. By the way, if you're wondering, Auburn's number 5 in the RPI, Ole Miss number 13. So a pretty competitive little series expected down at Plainsman Park. All right, what we're getting to in college football brought to you today by Lance'sLock.com. You heard Lance throw out a lot of numbers for you there. That's part of the way his brain works. He can help you at Lance'sLock.com.
Imagine this scenario. You've got under 5.5 on the game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's 2-0 Vegas. 9:35 to go in the third period.
Oh, I feel good. I go to bed,
Which
man.
side are you on?
You
I
got
was
the
on the
under.
under.
Yeah,
Under 5.5 pucks.
Under.
Hey,
Okay.
turn it off, go to bed. That's over.
Yeah.
I can't even explain how this, a coach's
1944.
challenge that led to
so since
a
1944?
shorthanded goal. I mean,
Yeah.
everything that could have possibly gone wrong.
1944.
An overturned goal that probably would have ended it at that point at 3-1. But anyway, we lost that. That was a devastating loss for us last night. We bounced back. We won Game 1, NBA Finals. We are going to have the side of NBA Finals Game 2 up and available. More Major League Baseball, possibly Super Regionals. Taking a look at that right now. Jump on board and win with us. Free play every single day at Lance'sLock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
The last time in the Stanley Cup Finals a team rallied from multiple goals down, 2 or more, to win a game was the Montreal Canadiens in 1944 in the final 10 minutes of a game. And that's what Carolina did last night. I had turned it off.
Well, I mean, if
had
you've
turned
got
it off, I was like,
Yeah, why? It's
I was
never
like, well,
9
Las
minutes.
Vegas is up 2 goals. It's late.
Yeah.
Boom, it's over.
Well, and at that point, it looked like Vegas, you take the first 2 on the road against Carolina.
Done.
And now you've got Braden McNabb that took that. I don't know if you guys saw it, the puck to the face. Now, it gets the shield. It glances the shield first. If it doesn't, if he's got teeth, I don't know if he does or doesn't, they're all gone. But immediately he goes straight to the locker room. And, he's in doubt for Game 3. So now this thing is completely flipped. Golden Knights had this thing done. Now with the Hurricanes, with the momentum and no McNabb, who knows what happens. But if you had Golden Knights and under last night, that is a crime.
Our college football topic off the top of the show will go in segment 2 today. We'll ask the question, is Auburn quarterback Byrum Brown the biggest bang or bust, boom or bust player in college football? That discussion coming up in about 10 minutes here on the show. But next Tuesday, we're going to be down in Auburn for the other kind of world football. The World Cup is coming starting next week in Mexico and here in the U.S. and I think in Canada as well, North American World Cup. And Bud Light is taking us down to Bunkers next Tuesday. And a little something off those games because Messi plays this weekend. This is the setup? This is Bunkers?
Yeah, we'll be there from noon until 3 next week, broadcasting, getting ready for the big matchup there match in Jordan-Hare. But, yeah, these were sent to me this morning, and they are ready for – they said it's going to be – I don't know what to expect.
I don't really either. Yeah.
But they think it is going to be wall-to-wall insanity. But you see Stella, Bud Light all over the place.
They've already got our table up there, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think just to play the hill, I'm going to go Team Iceland. I'm going to be like I've always been an Icelandic fan.
Yeah.
Just to play the hill, because I'm assuming there'll be more Argentina fans.
I'll use the chat GPT tonight and check and see if Dunaways ever existed in Iceland. Yeah.
I would think Argentina is going to be a massive favorite.
Oh, they will be, but I'll have the fans. I'll have them all riled up because I'm going to be Icelandic.
Do you think we'll meet anybody from
You're
Iceland?
basically cheering against Jordan Brown.
Michael Jordan or the nation of?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
And Lionel Messi.
Okay. I found that easy to pull against Jordan back in the day. Do you think we'll meet anybody from Iceland?
There's a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah.
I don't know how many fans they got.
Argentina plays in that game against Iceland. They play Honduras tomorrow night at Kyle Field at Texas A&M. By the way, it'll be the largest crowd. This washes over us because we're in the SEC.
Because this happens every Saturday at Kyle Field, yeah.
Yeah. Washes over us, the 100,000 plus. This will be the largest crowd Lionel Messi has ever played in front of him in his career when he takes the pitch tomorrow night at College Station in an SEC football stadium.
I think the only worldwide stadium bigger than the college football stadiums is that joint down in Mexico where they play the soccer games.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You just don't have these massive venues.
I know. I mean, you're right. It washes over us because it is nothing for 101,000 people to file in to watch Texas A&M play.
And didn't we do the largest sporting venues in the world, and like 3 or 4 out of the SEC and the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, it's
for World Cup matches, FIFA capped the capacity for stadiums to 72,766.
Yep.
That's very Pac-12 like back in the day.
Very random number.
But to Brown's point, I think the Mexico City Stadium at one point set just over 100,000.
Yeah.
What's the most fans you've ever seen at one thing? And the reason I bring
it'd be
this
an
up,
SEC game,
and I bet both Tyler and Scott have seen this. Metallica performing in the Soviet Union back in 1991.
But y'all were not there.
No. But I'm saying, but it's crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video. It's 1.6 million people they're performing in front of.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's
half of Alabama.
Everybody doesn't have a good seat there. I mean, it would either be a game at Bryant-Denny or Tiger Stadium or the Rose Bowl.
For me, it'd be Kyle Field, Rose Bowl.
I think it's Rose Bowl.
The number
for
of
me.
people on the property. Game of the century was 100,000 in, 300,000 out, however many they ended up saying.
How many said they were out?
I don't know how many people are on property when the weather is good at Jazz Fest. I went to Jazz Fest one year in New Orleans.
Is it that big?
Yeah, that would be, I would think, 500,000 people.
Yeah.
Depending on the year at Jazz Fest.
Yeah, Piedmont Park, the Shaky Knees or whatever I went over there. Seems like that was at least 100 and something thousand. But in a sporting event, I would probably say Kyle Field probably is the largest stadium.
I think it is, and you were at that one, and it was full capacity then when Alabama.
The new one,
I would think for music, for me, it would have been June Jam, I think.
Yeah, I remember those. Those were packed.
And one more World Cup thing. Social media gives us this all the time. Norway did a team picture. Don't put it up yet for us. Norway did a team picture, and if you're Norwegian and you're doing a team pick and you're coming to America to play, there's only one way to do your team pick, right?
Oh, yeah. They leaned into the Viking stuff. Yeah, the Vikings don't have great PR. So it's interesting that they've leaned into the historic Viking stuff.
I think the Vikings actually have better PR than they should.
I'm not talking about Minnesota. I'm talking about the actual Vikings.
I am too.
Okay.
I mean, raping and pillaging and, killing.
Yeah, they were not very well thought of back in the day.
So that is your soccer team, and
That's an
I
awesome
assume coaches there dressed to the nines in the native culture there, and that's the team photo.
My gosh, how gorgeous does Norway look, by the way?
It does.
I've always wanted to go up there.
Yep.
But that is an awesome team photo. I love the fact that they're just like, hey, Vikings, people may hate them, but we're just going to lean into our culture.
Is Byrum Brown, Auburn's quarterback, the biggest bang, boom, or bust player in college football? Can be the biggest newcomer or could be a bust that sends Auburn back to what has become a familiar spot during football season. We talk about that coming up on the other side of the show, being brought to you today by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, 205-969-8100, the number I called way back in 2003. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts, had no idea, got the procedure done, 2015 vision, still 23 years later. Make the call. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. $0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Don't forget, later today we'll have a Hoover Toyota drive home on our social media platforms at Next Round Live, at Next Round Live. Part of the conversation could be in the drive home about the ACC SEC Basketball Challenge that we'll look at today, brought to you by our friends at Hoover Toyota, LT.
If you're in the market, new or used, car, truck, SUV, you need to go see our friends at Hoover Toyota. They're conveniently located right there on Highway 150. Beautiful location. Get in, see Scott Peoples, Kim, Harold, all the fine folks there. They've got that red carpet program. They want to make sure they capture you as a customer for life. They've been serving Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia for over 20 years now. I'm speaking from experience. I am a customer 2 times over now, back in 2024, recently back in October of 2025. Stop in, see them. They've got the on-site finance department as well. For more information and to view the inventory, hoovertoyota.com.
All right, so the ACC SEC Challenge every year, and 2 years ago the SEC dominated. I think they still won it last year, just not as dominant.
Don't remember. But 2 years ago it was like 15 to 1 or
13 to 1.
13 to 1, yeah.
Like 15 to 1. That's probably more like it.
Something like that.
It was total domination that led to 2 teams, Auburn and Florida being in the Final Four, and Florida winning the national championship. Auburn, Alabama get road games this time around. Auburn travels to play Clemson, a familiar game for Alabama in this challenge over the years. So they've been on the schedule a lot. So Auburn gets them now up at Clemson. On that sheet, though, you see Arkansas, North Carolina. Wow, that's a good one with Calipari's crew going to play in Chapel Hill. Duke and Florida.
You knew they would do that, though, right?
I mean,
But in Gainesville.
Yeah, in Gainesville, not in Cameron. That's maybe the surprise.
Those are by far the big marquee matchups.
Yeah, I mean, Duke, Florida, that's going to be number 1, number 2 preseason, and it's going to be the two big, and they may be undefeated then. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be one of the bigger games of the season.
Alabama gets a road game at Miami. Miami, with a new coaching staff, had a good season last year, and is supposed to be good again. Alabama's supposed to be good again. So Alabama at Miami. But jumping off here, I think equally maybe a bigger, better matchup than Arkansas, North Carolina. I don't know if North Carolina can hold up their end of the bargain as much as Texas, Louisville. There at the Yum Center in Louisville. Texas is supposed to be top 10. Louisville is supposed to be top 10. So that'll be interesting to see that one as well. Texas on the road at Louisville.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Florida Duke, that could be 1-2. Texas Louisville is probably your second best matchup there.
I think so too.
I think North Carolina, when it's all said and done, will come out in the poll around 25.
And then here's
20 to 25.
Kentucky not getting the marquee games as usual. Virginia's still good.
Yeah,
great history.
yeah.
But Kentucky on the road at Virginia. So some road trips for some of the SEC power, but Duke doesn't get the home game this year.
The thing I hate about the Alabama-Miami game is Miami's just one of those places I don't feel like I'm watching a college game at their venue.
No, it seems like there's other things going on inside of the venue. Like it's almost like there's a mall where people are walking around. I don't know
what it is, but
they're playing a game in the middle of it.
I do not like watching games at that venue on TV for some reason.
To our college football conversation now, brought to you by our friends at Central State Bank, the great folks here locally that have been helping you for generations now.
Yeah, it is the bank that is big enough to meet any need you have, whether it is buying a new car, chasing that dream, maybe even opening your own business. Maybe all those things are chasing your dream, and Central State Bank can help you with all of them. And here's the good news for you. The people that are making the decisions on all those things, they are people that are living in your community. Their kids go to school with your kids. They play ball at the park with your kids. They go to your same churches. That's who you are dealing with at Central State Bank. That's huge for you because those people know you and they want you to be successful, and they are making decisions that can help you for your entire life. Central State Bank, it's what they do. They open relationships, not accounts. Central State Bank, big enough to know you, big enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Member FDIC.
And our friends at Innisfree gets us to our college football conversation. Our Innisfree countdown to kickoff every day. Today, 85 days away. On our Innisfree countdown, your game day tradition, Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always that world-class atmosphere that always makes everybody happy. It's at Innisfree, countdown to kickoff 85 days. Here's the question. Is Byrum Brown of Auburn the biggest or one of the biggest boom or bust players in college football this season? His transfer into Auburn now gives Auburn their best quarterback situation in a long, long time. His success, if he has a good year, could lead Auburn to a much better place than people are expecting him. If he falls and is not as good as expected in his transition, they could end up back in the same place, 6-6, 5-7. There are other players I think that are bigger boom or bust guys, but he's in the conversation. I'd put him in my top 5 of the biggest boom or bust players in college football.
Yeah, I can roll off 5 right now. But, I mean, here's the problem. I mean, Auburn's just not relevant right now.
Right.
I mean, that's the problem. For Auburn, he is the biggest boom or bust. But there are so many other quarterbacks out there right now with programs that are in a much better situation than Auburn.
Yeah, if he booms, I don't know what you consider boom. What do you consider boom for Byrum Brown?
I mean, if he can continue to put up the numbers he put up in the American in the SEC, Mateer was unable to do that coming from Washington State to the SEC. That would be booming.
So last year, Byrum Brown in 12 games completed 66% of his passes. So when I say these numbers, you just tell me what record this sounds like for Auburn. Now, I know this is one player defense, but I mean, just tell me what you think this record sounds like. 66% of his passes, 3,158 yards, which is 263 a game, 28 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Rushing yards, you need that. for him.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds.
Because it's going to be 800, I think.
Yeah. I need him
Byrum
to be 1,000
Brown,
rushing yards.
1,008 rushing yards, 14 rushing touchdowns. So
that's 9 and 3.
So total touchdowns are at 42. Total yards are at 4,200.
Yeah, I mean, they're borderline college football playoff contender, definitely a contender, maybe even in with those numbers. That is a boom. Again, if he can replicate those numbers, big if, though.
To your point, number one on my list would be a guy that Brown has no problem with, is Josh Hoover. I think he's the biggest boom or bust player in college football.
I personally
this year.
think boom, but you're right. I think if he's a bust.
I mean, based on a team that has got 16 consecutive games, the longest winning streak, coming off a national championship, Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, the number one overall guy. Yeah, to follow up in those footsteps, I agree, because people are waiting for Indiana to come back to reality, and Josh Hoover would be one of the guys, if they lose 3 or 4 games, he'll be one of the guys blamed for it.
Is another one you were thinking about Sam Levitt at LSU?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay a lot of money. Lane Kiffin is a quarterback guy. Sam Levitt's coming off of injury. He's coming from Big 12 to SEC. It is definitely a different kind of transition there. But LSU fans, we've talked about this, with all of the hype and the money they are spending, it's not about just getting to the college football playoff. It's about making serious noise this year. And Sam Levitt is going to be a big part of that if they're able to do it. Another
one you were thinking about, I bet, was Darian Mensah in Miami.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're reading
this is.
I mean, Carson Beck was good. He was very good. He wasn't as good as Cam Ward, but they didn't have a defense then. They get a defense. They play for a national championship. To me, Mensah is much better than Beck. He is right there with Cam Ward. But if they fall flat and they lose 2 or 3 games in the ACC and they, for whatever reason, didn't make the college football playoff, it would be a bust.
I mean, but to the point, Miami and Indiana played for it last year. Both new quarterbacks transferring in. LSU, with all the hype and everything, new quarterback coming in. Same with Byrum Brown, different expectations at Auburn.
There's 2 more that jump to mind. But
before we go to those other 2 real quick, I just want to say, how much do you guys factor in your mind? There is no science behind this. This is subjective. But like Kirk Cignetti, 2 for 2 quarterback portal, has not missed. Or
he's 2 for 2. Eventually, he's got to miss.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Mario Cristobal, 2 for 2 quarter. I mean, you got to give him credit. Cam Ward and Carson Beck were wins for him. Like those guys, I mean, the odds tell you they're not going to get it right every time. Josh Hoover could be a bust.
But this was
Darian Mensah could be a bust.
The difference in Curtis Rourke and Fernando Mendoza was the difference in going undefeated and being really, really good. We look back at the schedule in 2024. It wasn't what it was in 2025.
Rourke, but you can't say it wasn't a boom.
No. I mean, it absolutely worked out because of his experience. I think some things were hidden as far as his skill set wasn't even close to Mendoza's, but because that is such a really, really good program right now, kind of hid some of the blemishes.
But you see my point. They are not going to hit every single time.
You guys would give me Rocco Beck at Penn State?
Absolutely. Rocco Beck at Penn State, because I mean, he even had a down year last year. You saw what he did to Iowa State.
Yeah.
So he did sort of a bust year last year at Iowa State.
Got his bust out of the way.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what are Penn State's expectations? If you're firing, and you brought this point up yesterday, you're coached 5 games into a season that just played in the semifinals the year before. Now you're bringing in Matt Campbell. The expectation, I mean, it's a little less than what you've got with Lane Kiffin at LSU, but, hell, it's right there. Penn State fans expect them to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. And how many Iowa State guys did he bring in? It was
16.
Like 16. I was going to say 18, 16
It wasn't
guys.
30, but it was 16.
Yeah, it's still a lot. Yeah.
How about this one? This will make Auburn fans upset, but Jared Curtis at Vanderbilt. The money that you are spending on that quarterback, you're following up the best season you've ever had, the Heisman Trophy runner-up in Diego Pavia. I mean, I think Curtis is more of a boom or bust right now than Byrum Brown is.
In reality, it is true. I just expect more from Auburn than I do Vanderbilt, and I know that
name value.
I know that hasn't been the case the last 2 years.
Well, I do too, and I expect more out of Byrum Brown. I mean, this is a guy that has played a ton of football.
Yeah, and Curtis being, I guess, a freshman, like I'm buying into Byrum Brown being what he was at South Florida, and that may be unfair, but that's what
Yeah, I mean that's
if you're watching the SEC, you're expecting to see that.
That's what I thought with John Mateer, but like I think Curtis is more Bryce Underwood. I know, you guys know I'm really high on Bryce Underwood.
Well, that name got brought up in the chat. Why would you not have Bryce Underwood in this?
Oh, I probably would.
Yeah.
And I would definitely get to Bryce, but back to the Jared Curtis.
Yeah.
Like I think you've got to give a little bit for a guy that is coming in with a major program, and not that Vanderbilt's a major program, major conference. You got to give them let them ease in a little bit as a true freshman.
That's right, but we've seen Fernando Mendoza go from Cal, and I know Cal's not USF, but closer than people probably want to admit. We've seen him go to Indiana and win the national championship in the Heisman. So when you talk about leaving programs and going in, we expect you to bring what you were able to do at your last stop and bring that forward to a different level of competition, whether that's Byrum Brown, whether that's Josh Hoover, whether that's Darian Mensah, any of these guys.
Well,
but Bryce Underwood is a good example.
Well, it is
he busted last year.
You paid him. I mean, I don't know what the number officially was, but
$10 million was a speculation for his.
I thought it was $13 million for his career.
For his career, whatever it is, the number you saw was for his career.
But this is the year. There's no more excuses.
None whatsoever.
And people will talk about the coaching transition. Now Kyle Whittingham coming in. It's going to be a different offense. You still have played at this level a full year. The expectation should be tremendous this year for Underwood.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100% with you. Normally, new coaching staff would make you hesitate.
Yeah.
But with the fact that it's Kyle Whittingham, I've got a lot of faith in that guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would think if anybody's going to – Kyle Whittingham – in his time at Utah, they had pretty good quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah, always good quarterback
almost
plays.
Every year they had good quarterback
Now,
play.
they lost a lot of quarterbacks to injuries. I mean, Cam Rising's the one we all remember.
But that wasn't his fault. Yeah. I mean, I can't blame Whittingham for that necessarily, but he always had good quarterback play.
It seems like it was always the Rose Bowl's fault. It seems like both times he got hurt, it was the Rose Bowl, and he never got over that.
No, it kind of was.
Yeah.
There was another one that I thought was very, very interesting.
Well, we hit a lot of newcomers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably why we didn't get to Bryce Underwood when we did, because he was already on the team. I mean, those were a lot of newcomers that we went boom or bust on.
So if you want to play this the other way, you could say, did we see Trinidad Chambliss boom? Have we already seen that?
Yeah.
And maybe we see the bust next, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever is close to a bust for Trinidad Chambliss. Did we see his boom last year?
Yeah, I think you can say the same thing for Dante Moore. But your guy at USC, I mean, he's got to have a boom year, or it's going to be a bust.
when he was bad is when USC was losing games. Their ability to run the football now, defense is going to be much better with Gary Patterson. I agree. I mean, Jaden's going to have to play. He played at times elite football. If he plays elite for 12 games, USC is going to be a 10-2 like team, and they'll be in the college football playoff. The other I was going to mention, how big would this be for Brendan Torsby if he was playing with the money that Texas Tech paid him?
No, he would be number one. He would be number one boom or bust, because I don't know that people trust what they saw at Cincinnati, that it's going to translate to what Texas Tech would have. But with all that money he's being paid, and with the fact that Texas Tech would be a odds-on favorite, they're still the favorite, but an odds-on favorite to win the Big 12 and make the playoff, yeah, he'd be massive.
Yeah, and look, we did everything to get to the college football playoff, but we knew we can't advance without good quarterback play.
Right.
So that's why we went out and got this guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he would be at the top.
He would be if he were in. He may be number one.
I got a feeling that we may hear the decision today.
Why so?
But we already know it, you know.
Yeah, I think we know what it's going to be.
The lawyers asked by June 15th, and that's...
Today's the 5th.
Yeah, that's a whole nother week, and then after that, I just have a feeling today.
Why drag it out?
Yeah.
I think everybody knows what it's going to be. I think
a quick decision is not good, I would imagine.
No.
If they get the phone call, say, hey, everybody come down to the courthouse, we got a ruling, they're going to be like, if they've already given us a ruling here today, we're dead in the water.
That's the way it always is in the movies. The jury's already back?
Yeah. Sorsby's like, I'm not even driving to the courthouse. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign this supplemental draft thing right here. I'm going to go ahead and put my name in.
Another one in the SEC, and I mentioned him in passing, is John Mateer, though. Yeah. You know, I mean, because you did pay him a lot of money, and you brought his offense coordinator over.
I felt like we saw boom and bust out of him last year. Yeah. I thought we saw
they were Texas Tech last year. I mean, look, they were good enough with that defense to get to a college football playoff, but they weren't good enough to advance because they were limited offensively. And if Mateer, if you can unlock that, man, with Oklahoma's defense, you guys saw how good that defense was last year. Oklahoma could be super dangerous if he's good.
Okay, tell us about Crane U, and then I'm gonna tweak the question a little bit for you here. Crane U can tweak your career path. You can absolutely change what you're doing and find a very a financially beneficial new career with our friends at Crane U.
Yeah, a lot of people, and it doesn't matter where you are in your stage of life. You just graduated from high school. You're 30 years old. You're in a rut. You don't know what you want to do with your career. Crane U is your all-in-one destination for Crane certification success. This is where you start the career. They will guide you through every single step of the process, from comprehensive preparation, both in and out of the classroom, to ensure you're fully equipped to even the toughest exams. Then they're going to streamline your experience by administering both the written and hands-on tests right there at their facility, so you can get certified with confidence and convenience. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, our friends at Crane U, they've got it handled. So one call you make and you are good. When you make that call, whether it's Nicole or Francis, tell them the next round sent you. For all of your information, you go to craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
Okay, I know you knew what you were doing there when you were saying all of those. I did too, because it is the most important position on the field, quarterback. All those boomer bust guys we just named were all quarterbacks. So now, give me one or two or three non-quarterbacks that you think are boomer bust guys this year as well.
An easy answer to this in our state is going to be Ryan Coleman Williams. And much like Mateer, I feel like we've seen booms and busts from him already. So which one do we get more consistently this year? Do we get the Ryan Williams that was the first 3 or 4 games of his freshman year where people are already talking Heisman? Or do we get the Ryan Williams that was last year that was a drop machine? He says he's beyond that. I mean, I think if you get a boom Ryan Williams, then you're going to get a boom Keelan Russell or a boom Austin Mack, and Alabama's got something now.
I think there's a bigger receiver in the SEC, and I think that guy is Cam Coleman. I think when you look at Cam Coleman, the money he probably got to go to Austin, he's never been unleashed. He hasn't had good quarterback play, and now the expectation is Cam Coleman to go out and be an All-American.
It is. No, let me ask you this question, though. The reason I didn't lead with him, if he's just average, you've still got Ryan Wingo there.
Yep.
I mean, if Cam Coleman's just average, does that cost Texas a playoff spot?
No, probably not, because you've got Hollywood Smothers, you got Relique Brown. I mean, you got other
weapons.
Went out and you paid a fortune for skill.
But can that cost them a national
championship?
Maybe so.
Yes.
Because I remember our 17 years history of doing the show, we'd get a big, and it wasn't many of them for Nick Saban's time in Tuscaloosa, but there'd be one guy that would get hurt. I think Jackson got hurt one year or something, returning something at Ole Miss, and we were like, that's not going to impact Alabama getting, but is that the difference in winning the national championship?
Yeah.
They'll probably still get to the game, but is that one injury enough to keep them from winning a national championship? So Coleman probably won't derail them if he's just average, but is that the one thing that keeps them from winning a national championship? Any others pop to mind?
I mean, you got to go with Crowell. I know he's a freshman.
That
and
was
again,
the one I was going to bring up.
You've got to give, you got to have a little patience with true freshmen, but a true freshman running back, you've got some responsibilities, and we've seen, as long as he can, he's okay in pass pro, he can do some of the things that are expected at this level, see hole, get to hole.
Again, we're back on a receiver here, but Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate is not there, and almost everybody thinks Jeremiah Smith only can boom. But if he doesn't have a good year, I assume Ohio State's like the state of Louisiana. If I just hit a tree, receivers fall out of it.
Yeah. Right. And I think he's so good that even if he didn't have a Carnell Tate,
he can't even bust.
In that system, I wouldn't think so with the experience now of saying. I don't know how you do.
It's a tougher Ohio State schedule, though, than they have normally had.
Yeah. The toughest I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah, it's the toughest Ohio State Big Ten schedule, certainly, and they play Texas out of conference as well. So.
But you remember Chris Henry Jr. is coming in, and Ohio State fans will tell you, and we remember his late father and how good he was at times at West Virginia and then with the Cincinnati Bengals. If Henry Jr. is as good as Build, he's going to be like Jackson Smith and Jigba, coming straight in as a freshman, and Jeremiah Smith, and making an immediate impact because he's going to be in one-on-one coverage all of the time.
Again, it's in Columbus, you bump a tree and receivers fall out. So, I don't know why I would doubt whoever they got.
Do you guys remember the name Justice Haynes from Alabama?
Is he still playing?
No, he is, but not at Michigan.
Not at Michigan anymore.
He's at Georgia Tech now.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
Which shows you he's chasing money. That's kind of sad.
It does look that way, doesn't it?
Because you leave Alabama to go to Michigan, it's a transition. You got new coaching there, but you leave Michigan to go to Georgia Tech. And look, he was one of the highlights. When you look at Michigan, as bad as they were, as challenged as they were offensively last year, he was their best offensive weapon.
Yeah. How much did Ohio State lose on their defensive line in front seven? They lost
not more than Miami.
No, they lost. Yeah. They lost a lot though. I mean, you look at Sonny Styles. I'll tell you right here. I'll just look at the top 10 of the draft.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, seriously.
I mean, they lost Caleb Downs on the backside, but then they lose 2 linebackers in the top 10 picks. Didn't they?
I mean, you lost Arvell Reese.
Yep.
Sonny Styles.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You mentioned Downs. That's 3 in the top 15.
I bring that up. I just wonder the impact that Rousseau and James Smith, former Alabama players, will have on their Ohio State defense. Those guys leave Alabama. Do you project them? I assume to be starters.
I assume they're going to start. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you guys felt. I felt they were both B to B plus players.
Well, I really liked Rousseau until he got hurt, and I got to see Yonze Pierre.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
But I mean, both those guys are obviously starting. Both of those guys are probably making $750 plus.
And so I wonder, is by Ohio State standards at that position, those guys were good for Bama. But were they Ohio State good for Ohio State, or is that sort of a sign that maybe Ohio State that front seven down a little bit? Is that why maybe they missed the playoffs or lose 3 games this year with that tough schedule? Interesting to watch.
Yeah, I don't think the defense can be as good as it was. I mean, they gave up less than 10 points per game last year.
And a tougher schedule they're going to face.
Yeah.
And really, was that the Julian saying? Didn't he throw that horrible pass out to the flat, that pick 6? Was that against Miami? Is that who threw that pass? Ohio State, Miami?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, you don't throw that pass. Miami's probably not in the national championship game.
And defensively, too, you don't get Arch Manning making his first start in your key out-of-conference game, right? You're going to get a more experienced Arch Manning with better weapons around him now.
Tough, man.
That's a tough schedule. And I'm glad to see it because, I mean, I just like seeing Ohio State play those big games. And to their credit, they'll do it.
Todd Fuhrman coming up at the top of the hour. We'll talk to him about, some NBA going tonight with Game 2. Seems like the Spurs are an easy play. Just theory of large numbers. Hard to imagine the Knicks going home up 2-0, but it could happen. And we'll talk other college football and a bunch of stuff. Brown has some old betting lines now after a day yesterday. He wants to bring it back for Furman. All that's coming up. The show today being brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop, LT.
Hey, the weekend is here. Be the hero. Pick up some of the great steaks, ribs, chicken, pork on your way home. Some of the fabulous sides made fresh in-house every single day right there at the New York Butcher Shop. 2 locations, the original Cava Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Get in, see Jim, the fantastic staff of butchers. Don't forget they've got a great selection of fine wines and desserts as well. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resource, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777. Or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 on our way to talk to Todd Fuhrman, brought to you today in part by our friends at Walk-Ons. The Cajun cuisine blended with sports food. It is just a perfect mixture. The sports bistro that is Walk-Ons with 3 great locations. The one closest to us, Tattersall Park, Highway 280. That wonderful location as well out in Trussville and at Stadium Trace near the Hoover Met. Those 3 great locations, part of our team here at Walk-Ons and the Next Round. The bone-in chicken wings, so good. The other night I had this unbelievable ahi tuna salad that is just with the edamame and such. It's delicious. The Varsity Burger is great. The great appetizers, the cheese logs, gumbo. I love the gumbo there. It's all at Walk-Ons. Go check out that menu. The huge selection of beers and the wall-to-wall TVs. It's game on at Walk-On.
You see Todd Fuhrman at CBS Sports on social media, and Todd Fuhrman, former odds maker, Caesars Palace, very kind with his time with us each week. Welcome in, Fuhrman. How are you today, my man?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. And you know what, Brownie? Every week when I get to hear Dunaway do some of the ad reads, I just wonder why Walk-Ons doesn't come to him with the potential to franchise a location out here in the desert, add a little bit of video poker, and it provides the perfect tailgate entertainment every Saturday throughout the fall.
They're working their way out that way.
Walk-Ons in Vegas. Let's do that.
Oh, I think it would kill out there. It's very good food. I think a Walk-Ons in Vegas would kill.
Always need to try and take advantage of a little bit of an experiential cuisine of sorts. We have too many video pokers that just serve up the traditional hamburgers and all that sort of thing. So diversification goes a long, long way.
So, Fuhrman, you know how this works. You have one of these unbelievable beats, and it sends you into a tailspin. So I go back to Wednesday night, Pirates bullpen. They give up a 6 spot to the Astros in the bottom of the 8th. I thought that one was wrapped for me. I had the Pirates in that one. And then last night, Game 2, Stanley Cup Finals, I've got under 5.5 2-0, under 10 minutes in the third. I don't know what side you were on. I don't know if you had anything on that total, but my God, if you had Vegas in the under last night, that is devastating.
So, LT, I'll see your under for the full game, and I will raise you a Carolina Hurricanes team total, under 3.5, after they had a goose egg on the board after the first two periods, and that was a loss I got saddled with, along with a smaller bet on the Vegas Golden Knights at right around plus $1.50. So the good old sombrero right staring you in the face for a game that you thought was going to end with Vegas winning a low-scoring affair. But that's why we love some of the postseason, the unpredictable nature, and suddenly the dynamic of that Stanley Cup final changes completely with Game 3 out here at T-Mobile tomorrow night.
Okay, so we don't talk a lot of hockey. You obviously played college hockey. You follow it at a high level. The coach's challenge that led to the shorthanded goal, what should have happened there? I mean, did they get it right?
So I think it should have been a goal because if you look at the overhead view, the puck is still in clear sight, and while the referee's obligation is to blow the whistle if he loses sight of it, the overhead suggests that Freddie Anderson didn't have that puck secured. Ivan Barbashev is able to get a little bit of a poke check in there, and ultimately that's what led to the puck slipping through Freddie Anderson when he's trying to cover the puck. Now, at the same time, I know John Tortorella defended his decision to use the challenge, saying 10 out of 10 times he's going to challenge. I'm of a little bit of a different mindset. The risk-reward of that situation, knowing a failed challenge leads to a Carolina Hurricanes power play, might have me second-guessing. It is worth noting that Vegas' penalty kill had been one of their strengths all postseason long, but the problem for Vegas is they were playing the majority of that game without one of their best true defensive defensemen in Braden McNabb, who took an 87-mile-an-hour slap shot right off the face in the first period, and you saw the penalty kill not have quite the same teeth. They give up that goal there, and then, of course, the overtime game winner comes on the heels of Tomas Hertl taking a 2-minute tripping penalty. So a little bit of risk-reward there that I'm not sure I'd have made the same decision. At the same time, Mark Stone scoring the game-time goal with about 90 seconds to go ends up righting a wrong. But unfortunate sequence of events, and that's why Vegas is in the spot they're in.
Todd Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. I know college baseball probably does not get a lot of volume there in Vegas, but you gave us some insight last week. Now we're to the Super Regionals, where 3 actually are in our fair state here, Fuhrman. Can you give me a thought on both Alabama and Auburn? Lance informed us that Alabama is the biggest favorite to make it out of the Super Regional to Omaha. Auburn with a much more difficult opponent in Ole Miss. Can you give us some thoughts on both those, please?
It can only go up after giving you guys a national championship future on the Florida Gators at 20-1, and they bow out unceremoniously to the Troy Trojans, and then Oklahoma State getting bounced out by a team in your fine state in the Alabama Crimson Tide. And in terms of Alabama St. John's, the Johnnies a little bit of Tallahassee Regional and knocking off the Seminoles in surprising fashion. Alabama a rightful favorite, but the interesting dynamic in play is it's not a huge pitching advantage in favor of the Crimson Tide in the first game. It's when you get to Game 2 and a potential Game 3 decider where Alabama has the much better arms, they have the more dynamic offense, and it would be a monumental upset if St. John's is able to keep this Cinderella run going. So while not advocating laying the price, I would want no part of backing the dog. When you look at Auburn and Ole Miss, that's the most fascinating matchup in the state of Alabama this weekend on paper. Of course, because the SEC and these power conferences do things differently, we don't have any regular season history between these two teams. And Ole Miss's pitching staff, not quite as good as Auburn, but the one thing that Ole Miss does do better than Auburn is manufacture runs. And that's my concern here, is Ole Miss's willingness to take a walk, coming through a little bit of a more difficult regional. I think they're slightly undervalued in this Super. So I would lean towards the Rebels. And then the Cinderella story in the Super Regionals, where a program like Arkansas Little Rock or Troy will have a chance to get to Omaha. This Troy team is the real deal. They absolutely mashed in Gainesville, made a very good Florida pitching staff look pretty pedestrian. And credit Troy in a program from top to bottom. They've been knocking on the door of getting into the NCAA tournament for the last few years, finally breaks through. And I think that difficult strength of schedule they played all year is paying dividends. I think Troy knocks off Arkansas Little Rock. And, guys, I'm not sure the journey will necessarily end in the loser's bracket in Omaha either.
Oh, wow. So you think Troy's got a chance not only to get to Omaha, but to advance in Omaha?
I think they can win a game. You look at the potential setup against the winner of the West Virginia Cal Poly Super Regional. I don't think it's a death knell at all that if Troy's able to get through Arkansas Little Rock, set up their staff, that it's a team that I'm not sure anybody is necessarily going to want to see when you're playing with a bit of house money and their ability to mash with some of the best teams in college baseball.
Listen, I know how modern-day media works, whether it's news or sports, where sometimes to get clicks or views, you tell people what they want to hear instead of what the truth is. But we're about to start the World Cup next week. And I saw somewhere today that there is a path on, wait for it, a miracle run where the U.S. wins the World Cup. I mean, reality, where is the odds on the Americans winning the World Cup? And how far can the Team USA go in this thing?
So do you want the glass half full or the glass half empty approach here, Dunaway, when I break down the red, white, and blue and their prospects for World Cup glory?
Well, start with glass half full.
Hey, before you break that down, Fuhrman, better chance of happening, Browns win the Super Bowl or the United States wins the World Cup? Serious question.
Well, that's exactly where I was going to go, LT, because when you look at the odds for Team USA, widely available at consensus price right around 60-1, if you're looking for a football parallel, that was the price on the Seattle Seahawks this time last year to go on and win the Lombardi Trophy. So keep that in mind. At the same time, do I think both of those should have been a 60-1 proposition? Absolutely not, because the Seahawks play NFL football. It's a little bit questionable if we actually play soccer at the same as some of these global superpowers. So for me, I think a successful result for Team USA would not only be getting out of the group stage into the round of 32 with the expanded format, but winning a knockout stage game, getting to the round of 16, and if they were able to pull off an upset there, maybe getting to the quarterfinals. That would be extremely successful, in my opinion. The idea that we could run through global soccer superpowers and achieve something that's unthinkable on this stage, granted playing on home soil, I think it's a little bit of a long shot, but I applaud all the TV partners and the media folks out there that want to try and sell you a bill of goods that Christian Pulisic is going to find his name on the same soccer immortality list as the Pelés and the Diego Maradonas of yesteryear.
The definition of miracle, though, is an extraordinary and astonishing event that defies normal scientific understanding or the known laws of nature. That's what miracle on grass would be.
You've already achieved one of those. You went 2-30 during the first round of an NCAA tournament. So it's further proof that miracles do happen every day in the sporting world.
Yep.
Fuhrman, if you want to see the ultimate spectrum of knee-jerk reactions, just follow a 7-game series, especially in the NBA. I mean, the Knicks had no chance at winning this series coming into it. Now people are like, oh, this Spurs team. I think people forgot the Spurs were up 14 in the third. Look, and I had the Knicks plus 4.5 in game one. I felt fortunate to get out of there. I know they ended up winning the game by double digits. Now San Antonio listed at 6.5 in game two. I know it's a must win for San Antonio, but are you a little surprised that everybody's like, I don't know how San Antonio is going to claw their way back into this?
And for me, that's exactly where you minus 5.5 and minus 6. I think this is an excellent opportunity for them to even things up. They'll get a more favorable whistle at home. Look to be a little bit more dynamic offensively. You have to imagine that Mitch Johnson is going to give Dylan Harper those timely minutes in the fourth quarter and maybe decide that De'Aaron Fox, who's been working at about a 70% capacity with that ankle injury, may not be their best weapon to try and put this Knicks defense on skates.
All right, he is Todd Fuhrman, CBS. Excuse me. Puberty has been really, really difficult. CBS Sports. You can also see him on social media at Todd Fuhrman, former odds maker at Caesars Palace, with us on Fridays. Fuhrman, thank you, my friend. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the games this weekend.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. You guys do the same.
All right, buddy. Take care. Todd Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Cut number 4, Tyler, if you'll get that ready for me. Rowback.com, Rowback.com. A couple of Rowback gear on the set today. I'm in a hoodie. Brown's in the softer, a lighter hoodie today.
Scott's got his on, too, back there.
Look at this. Yeah. I mean, 3 out of 5, 60%.
3 out of 5. Brooks off today, so he couldn't contribute.
Probably wearing his Rowback.
Probably.
Away from the building.
Look, great summer gear, too. They've got new golf shirts up and available. They've always got different patterns out there. We talk about the collegiate gear, officially licensed from our friends at Rowback. They're bringing on some new universities, some new partners coming up this fall. Check out everything at rowback.com while you're there. Put in that code TNR20. You're going to save 20%. Again, I used this code earlier. Got a couple of more bathing suits from Rowback. Those are great value. Rowback.com. Use that code TNR20. Get 20% back.
St. John upsetting Alabama. That's what CBS Sports believes. St. John's, according to them, is better than their 4 seed suggests. It has the requisite balance between offense and defense to pull the upset and follow the footsteps of 2025 Murray State and 2023 Oral Roberts to get to Omaha. Here's Rob Vaughn, Alabama's head coach, on the challenge St. John's has when he joined our show earlier this week.
We got a tough group of dudes that believe that they can absolutely come in and sweep us this weekend too. Like, I can promise you that. Those guys are not going to be scared. They're not going to be intimidated. They're not going to do that. So, like, for us, it's going to be how mature can we be in our approach? Can we show up? Can we, kind of like we did against Alabama State in the 4th seed, is can we respect our opponent while having supreme confidence that we can dismantle them if we do it together? And that's what we did against Alabama State, and it's what's going to take this weekend, because it's going to be 9 innings. It's not an accident that these guys rolled through the Tallahassee Regional. They're just good.
I mean, like, you can't just look at this and think, well, Cal Poly just got lucky to get through the UCLA Regional. You can't look at this and think St. John's just got lucky. Or,
these are double elimination tournaments.
These are good baseball teams. You're not you don't fall backwards, luckily, into the Super Regionals.
And it's baseball.
Yeah, and it's baseball.
Like, you could hit line drives right at their guys, and they hit it off the end of their bat, and they drop in.
Yeah, I mean, these are good baseball teams. Record conference aside right now, you're playing a good team. Now, Alabama may be the biggest favorite, but this, to what Rob Vaughn says, this is not some St. John's team that just stumbled here by accident.
Yeah, if you wanted to learn more about Rob Vaughn, you can go back and check our complete interview out. We talk about his minor league and his upbringing and his whole philosophy to life. Pretty cool dude there earlier this week. Right here on the Next Round. You can go to our YouTube channel and check that out. Catch some of it on our TNR clips. By the way, 7 o'clock tonight for Auburn. We talked about them to start the show. Auburn tonight at home to Ole Miss, 7 o'clock. And then Alabama Regional starts tomorrow, 8 o'clock, late night tomorrow night in baseball.
I thought that was interesting what Fuhrman said about Ole Miss is the I guess, intangible for them is just their ability to manufacture runs out of nowhere. And Auburn's pitching was it was dynamic at the end of the regional. Oof. Boy, at the start of the regional, it was not good at all.
Yeah, I mean, is the same guy going Forster tonight that the Panthers beat up last week?
No, they're pitching. They're throwing the guy who started game 2 against NC State. Their hardest thrower, Andreas Alvarez.
So the Friday night starter all of a sudden is not the game 1 starter again. You'll see him, though, probably game 2, maybe?
I would imagine he'll go tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that's your concern there is if they start out as slow pitching, you don't have the margin for error now against a team like Ole Miss that you did when you're in a region with Milwaukee and NC State and teams like that.
So around the panel, 1, 2, or 3 – wait, 0, 1, 2, or 3 state teams in Omaha.
I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say somebody gets upset. I don't know which one.
I think it's 3. I think all 3
I wanted
through.
to say 3, but boy, I feel like I'm just being a state of Alabama homer to say 3, but Auburn's got the toughest of the
I would agree. I mean, there's familiarity between those two.
But Auburn has the best team.
Yeah.
There's actually not a ton of familiarity.
Yeah, they didn't play this year
at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
historic familiar. I mean, Butch Jones.
More
Butch
like
Jones.
teams, I would think, though.
Butch Thompson has faced, this coaching staff, and they face Butch.
How do you play an entire season and not play?
I know. It's
Troy
crazy.
and Little Rock are both in the Sun Belt, right?
Were at one time.
I'm not supremely confident on that, Jim.
Maybe not.
Not in this era of conference baseball.
And then St. John's and Alabama wouldn't even play each other probably unless it was in March to start the season to get St. John's outside for the first time.
Isn't that funny?
I think it will be 3, though. I think we'll see a graphic from Brooks next week that will say Alabama is the first team outside of Texas, Florida, and California that has 3 teams in the College World Series.
And Little Rock's in the OVC.
OVC. I was not going to jump on the Sun Belt. And to Fuhrman's point, great draw for Troy. If they could get past Little Rock, you get the Cal Poly West Virginia winner, which
because they fall back into the College World Series because they're not good either. Same thing, just name brands though.
I agree, but would you, if you're Troy, you tell me, would you rather draw the winner of the Cal Poly West Virginia series or the Texas and Oregon series?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I want the winner of the West Virginia Cal Poly series.
To your point, though, there is a chance that you're looking at 4 of your 8 teams in Omaha could be Cal Poly, Troy, St. John's, and Kansas. Not usually the who's who of college baseball blue bloods.
I almost feel like I'm watching the NCAA basketball tournament at that point.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to some of the other stuff going on in the college football world. Financials are such a big deal right now. An anonymous 4-generation Hokie family yesterday donated, or 2 days ago now, donated $75 million to Virginia Tech. And a lot of it is going directly to the football program. And that's not their first major donation they've had since they hired James Franklin. Like the hiring of James Franklin from Penn State has opened up money I don't think a lot of average fans like me knew existed in Virginia Tech world.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there are some of those programs. Like nobody would have known if Cody Campbell wasn't so vocal and it didn't become such a story. There probably are hidden billionaires with different programs.
Anonymous. They kept this anonymous.
That is a ton of money for Virginia Tech. I mean, and especially, and I've said this before, and I think you guys agreed, if I was one of these billionaires given to my program, I would say everything's going to football or whatever sport that I really wanted to focus on.
Some of it went to the Honors College, and I think the majority of it actually goes to the Honors College, but a chunk of it goes to football. Meanwhile, Jimmy Haslam.
I love this.
Yeah, I saw this.
Donated $130 million, zero
That's
to
right.
sports.
All to the Haslam College of Business, none to football. And I saw some, I think our buddy
Which
Withrow.
is crazy because the guy owns the Browns.
I
He's
know.
a football guy.
I think what this tells you, though, he's giving money to athletics.
That you don't know about.
Yeah, just not in this.
Well,
he's probably got the same revenue streams open that he had before NIL was legal.
you know the difference between the $130 million to the College of Business and the money to the athletics. One is tax deductible, one is not. So, you know, the one that's tax deductible
is fueling probably the other money.
That's right.
God, if they were all tax deductible, I mean, these rosters would start to creep up NFL-like.
Oh, I mean, I don't know that there would be a ceiling if these were, and they initially were. Keep in mind,
Yeah.
I mean, they were tax deductible donations.
Then you could have your former players
That's
coming
it.
back.
Yeah,
right.
the former players would be key.
Then it'd be like, oh, this would be an easy way to write some.
Yeah.
Now you wouldn't see, Cameron's kids anymore or whatever. I mean, they would be those big outings to the football game.
They close that loophole in a hurry because they know what's coming. But hey, for James Franklin though, I mean, I don't know how much of the $75 million he gets, but let's say it's. I mean, what do you guys think? $25 million of it?
I heard it was
if he gets
30,
a third.
30 million.
Do you know how
Oh my
good a
gosh.
roster in the ACC? Who'll have the best roster in the ACC for $30 million?
Well, I would
got
spread
Miami.
I would probably spread it over 3 years because you probably, $10 million,
That's
10
true.
million,
It may
10
not
million.
be 30 a year. So let me tap my brakes on that one.
They got some other
Miami's in
big
there, too.
donations as well. Miami's paying a lot.
But Brent Pry, the former head coach, is on James Franklin's staff. He's got to be looking at this saying, I mean, if I had these resources, James Franklin might not be our head coach right now.
What do you think a good, solid number is for an ACC team? I mean, Miami's going to outspend everybody, but 20 million's got to be a good number.
I bet that makes you number two. I bet 20 million's not what
I don't know.
has.
SMU.
Clemson's spending more money. SMU's spending more money.
I keep forgetting SMU's in the ACC.
Yeah.
I got to quit talking ACC till I can remember who's in their conference.
Yeah, but to your point about Brent Pry, who was the head coach, now the defensive coordinator under James Franklin now, do you think Franklin, with all this new money, is walking down the hallway and saying, Brent, where do we put the caviar and champagne? Where did you use to store this?
That's got to be.
We didn't have that.
We were on bottled water, James.
It's got to be really frustrating.
It's got to be, but I mean.
I got lukewarm water in the closet over here.
Yeah, Brent Pry didn't accept that position, though, not thinking, listen, if Franklin has success, all I'm going to hear is how much better it is now, but at least I'll be along for the ride and have a good paycheck.
Two things I didn't think I would see and or hear before we get to our next commercial break, brought to you today by our friends at the Next Round store. If you want to get some Next Round gear, whether it's a cool hat like Forrester has on or some of the hats that LT and I have worn this week, you can do that right now. Some of the stuff you see on your screen by going to nextround.store, nextround.store, and check out the inventory. Some sold out items there. I was checking it out last night, but restocking soon, and you can jump in and get your favorites, nextround.store. And by the way, if you see something on there that you like that's maybe sold out, shoot us an email or drop in the comment section here on the YouTube channel, and maybe we can reorder and get it for you. It's all right there at nextround.store, nextround.store. First thing I didn't think I'd see today. it's that time of year where Athlon, Lindy's, and Phil Still are going to your mailbox, or you're getting them online, or you're buying them at your local grocery store. But ESPN is in the college football magazine game starting today. On newsstands today, ESPN is putting out a college football preview magazine. Heather Dennis sharing this version that has a Texas, Oregon, and USC player on it. The one that will be in our grocery stores here locally has a Georgia, Alabama, and Miami player on it. Georgia running back, Miami, Malachi Toney. Who do you think the Alabama player is? I don't have a picture of it.
But you know who it is?
I think it's probably Ryan Williams.
Ryan Coleman Williams.
It is not. It's Daniel Hill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
surprising.
Will he even lead Alabama in
What,
rushing?
is it the only picture they could find?
The only one they had the rights to?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's a wild choice.
But
there.
is it
You better frame that, because that's going to be his coup de grace.
128 pages. Brown and I were talking. It seems so weird that they're almost doing a throwback. They're going to the magazine model, which
I used to love the magazine model, but even the Phil Still, as much information. I know most people are consuming it online, but I can't read the font. We've talked about that before. It's so small.
With my glasses, I can't.
I quit getting it because I couldn't read it anymore.
It is a crazy small font because he has so much information. It's almost like, give us more pages and bring your font back a little bit. I doubt I'll buy this. I mean, you know, I used to get, like you guys, every college football preview I could get my hands on, but it's kind of neat they're doing this. I don't know how well it'll sell.
There's all the covers, 3 regional covers.
Huh. Yeah, Daniel Hill's an interesting choice from Alabama. I'm with you, though, like we talked about earlier. ESPN has not done this in a while. I don't know what about this climate and our world economically makes you, or not really economically, but customer behavior makes you say, hey, now's a good time to do a magazine again.
Yeah, and my point being, as we were talking, Brown, preseason top 25. Well, I've already seen that at ESPN.com that you've got out there, right?
All right.
So what else you team. Well, I've seen
that.
You've seen that 60 different lists every day.
The only way to capture the consumer, to me, is you've got this at the counter, and you got a guy checking out, and he's so excited about college football, he's like, hell, I'll just grab this and throw it out. But the problem is your majority of people that are going through your Publixes and your Piggly Wigglies of the world are women.
That's right. Well, here to me, and boy, this is a narrow audience that I don't know you make a ton of money, you know, on an ESPN level doing this. I think you hope you capture the dude going to the beach, and he's like, I need something to flip through at the beach. I may as well get an ESPN.
Yeah, beach read.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I didn't think I would hear this week, the Taylor Swift song dropped, part of Toy Story 5. I've listened. It's mid-level of Taylor Swift's catalog. It's not gonna, I don't think, wow anybody. But did you guys see this? Since March of 2023, Steve Kerr has been working in his post-game news conferences a line from Taylor Swift's All Too Well, and he completed the song by the end of this year.
Wait a minute. So he's taken one line from the song and worked it in each?
Dropped in lines from the song since March of 2023, and it has come out.
Please tell me this is a huge bet or dare or something, because this is completely weirdo stuff.
And apparently his son chopped it all up, put it in order, and sent it to Taylor Swift, and she was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Can I release it on social media? And Steve asked her not to do that, but it has leaked out that he actually did it. I have not seen the video that the son cut up. I would imagine somebody somewhere is doing what the son did and is going back and pulling every news conference and finding the lines, and we'll have a chop up at some point. But if that's true, and I wasn't fooled, Forrester, by the internet.
Was it John Rothstein reporting it?
Yeah. By the way, I've got to call a credit card company after work today because there's an alert on some charge from the Middle East, which, by the way, I'm not there right now. I don't know if you noticed.
You're not in Iran?
Yeah. They texted me last night. By the way, are you in so-and-so? And I didn't reply to the text because I'm like.
Well, the text feels
the text feels like it's a fraud.
That's right.
So I'm going to call them directly after the show. So I could be fooled by this, but
I think you've got to be fooled by this.
If I read this correctly, Steve Kerr has worked in a line of All Too Well since March of
I mean, it
2023
feels
and has
like-
completed a song. That does seem like an Onion thing.
That's a long play right there, man.
I will say this. If I'm a Golden State fan, you've won one playoff series since you started this. Immediately quit.
Let's focus a little more on the games.
I'm not a big Steve Kerr guy to begin with, but that is weird stuff.
Michelson viewing menu today brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. Him and Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the call that I made in 2003. Stop procrastinating. If you wear glasses or contacts, you're wasting money each and every year. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She will hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
So yesterday, I saw Scary Movie 6. Went in with low expectations because before I saw the movie, I was scrolling online and saw a review from somebody who said that they love movies like Meet the Spartans, an epic movie, but hated the new Scary Movie. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Meet the Spartans, but it is the worst movie in existence. So that is a true connoisseur of trash saying that the new Scary Movie is bad. So I went in cautiously.
But you still went in knowing this.
I did.
Wow. You're a trooper.
It's not a good movie.
Yeah,
It
we
feels
could have
like-
told you that.
Yeah, I'm stunned at this.
It's more just like, I feel weird like asking for a story from Scary Movie.
Yeah,
but,
generally that's not the thing you hang your hat on with
But
us.
the originals had like an actual original story that made fun of horror movies, where this feels like a series of Family Guy cutaways.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so let me ask you this. I gave you two really, really good films that you had never seen this weekend, Blood Simple from the Coen brothers and Thief from Michael Mann with James Caan. I am going to assume you have not seen either one of those, where you could have sat back at home on Tubi and watched those for free, not leaving your couch, and you chose to go watch what is probably going to be maybe the shittiest movie made this year.
It won't be the worst movie of the year, but it'll be down there. I still laughed. That being said, first 6-7 joke in film history.
Oh gosh. Jeez.
Yeah, that's how last night went.
How many people were in the theater, honestly?
Oh, it was
About
packed.
6 or 7.
Oh,
It
good
was
work, Jeff.
packed?
Oh yeah, it was packed. I didn't have like any room next to me. Like normally I like to have a little buffer seat.
Yeah, but nope.
But nope, couldn't have a buffer seat last night. People enjoyed it. They took approximately 0 risks with the jokes. So I'm not sure what the whole everybody's trying to cancel this movie marketing push was about.
Maybe they're just trying to cancel the movie.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to get as many people into this one because now apparently the Wayans brothers are holding White Chicks 2 hostage unless this movie does well.
Okay.
I
it's a
watched
bold play.
last night the AFI, and they recorded this live, I don't know when, but the AFI gave Eddie Murphy their Lifetime Achievement Award, the 51st person ever to receive the honor. And, the lineup that was there was, Chappelle and Rock and Burr and just all these people, Arsenio to talk about the film and all of this. And so
It's interesting. You got a bunch of comedians talking about film.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Eddie
I mean,
Murphy's
it's his whole
so
career.
freaking
Yeah.
talented, but always did shitty movies.
So I went back. Well, it was 48 Hours and
No, 48.
Trading
Those were great.
Places.
Those were great early. I'm just talking about once his career got established.
Yeah.
Outside of things like Dreamgirls, I mean, he just in Trek did garbage.
Apparently, Harlem Nights.
Garbage.
Eddie Murphy said in a clip he was recorded during the trailer of that, showing the trailer of that, he was like, I felt like critics when I decided to direct that movie. They were like, okay, he's won as an actor, he's successful in television, he's done this and even had a musical hit, whatever that song was, it was a hit.
Party all the time. That was a bet that he won with Richard Pryor.
Yeah, that I felt like the critics were like, no matter how good, he goes, I think the movie is really, really good. And it was trashed by the critics because I think they were just tired of me being good at everything.
I've never seen it. Harlem Nights is what he's talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's Red Fox. The cast, Richard Pryor, it's just not that good. I mean, there's some funny parts in it, but it's just not that good.
But there was 0 funny parts in this thing last night. because all the comedians were Eddie, thank you, and it was just, and then
they were paying their respects.
Another would come up, and everybody was just so serious. Which I guess you should, but I was wanting it to be funnier.
You wanted a roast. You wanted
Kevin
Hart's
roast
to break out. So Brown started watching Friends and Neighbors again. You
Fantastic. Yeah, we're into season 2.
So I wanted to catch up. I have 3 more episodes from this season. So I watched 2 of them late last night, and it has officially jumped the shark.
Oh, has it now?
I think so.
Into season 2?
Now, I haven't seen the final episode, but I'm just saying, like, you can't... If you know and I'm not going to give anything away, but you can't have these sensational storylines each and every year. Like, there's so many good characters, and they're all very, very shallow characters, much like Succession. But there's a lot of energy and a lot of personality packed. I think you can go with different storylines and then this completely over the top every year. I mean, the way this season ending, much like last season, was absolute nuts. I mean, do you kind of agree that it's jumped the shark?
It was trending in a very bad direction until the very last episode.
Okay, well, I haven't seen the last episode yet.
That's
okay.
why I said it that
way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is such a good show.
Yeah, I'll report back.
So after Scary Movie 6, I went to go see Masters of the Universe. It's like a 10 o'clock screening because I decided to take a nap after I got home before going to see Scary Movie 6. So I watched what is possibly the most confusing attempt at rebooting Masters of the Universe I've ever seen.
I love your...
Do you think if it wasn't Tyler, like his bracket challenge that he will be executing next week from our friends at Hamburger Heaven, the 9 and 9 hot dogs and 9 Bud Lights, like that would have been a challenge, or in itself, like the loser has to go watch Scary Movie 6 and Masters of the Universe and back
Tyler does it willingly. Yeah.
Yeah, so visually it's actually surprisingly decent. Like, a lot of cool shots. Tonally, I just don't understand who they're trying to get in the theater because, like, there's a lot more cursing in the movie than I expected there to be in a He-Man movie because, you know, you're trying to sell action figures.
Well, what kind of cussing? Because the cussing has changed.
It doesn't go that far, but at one point, Tila calls Battle Cat a pussy. And I was very taken aback by that.
Yeah,
like,
I think what they're trying to capture, I would assume, are guys like Brown in their 40s that will bring their kids out, and their kids hear all of this every day on TikTok.
Not from Brown, though.
I do think it is a different world, and I do think they're trying to probably recapture kids that grew up in the mid to late 80s.
I guess so, but there was also like just a self-deprecating tone about the whole thing where they're making fun of the whole concept of He-Man. They're making fun of the name He-Man, and it just felt very cringy millennial Disney adult kind of humor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolute trash.
Worse than Scary Movie 6?
Yes, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So going in that, you couldn't have thought, hey, man, what I just saw, this is going to be worse.
Yeah, there was no way. Like, Scary Movie 6, the story was incoherent, but then Masters of the Universe, I'm like, I understand exactly everything that's going on. I'm pointing out all the references, but this is
Give
awful.
me a combo Tyler Rotten Tomatoes score on both.
On both? So Scary Movie 6, I would say, is like a 40%. Masters of the Universe, probably like 35.
Oh, okay. Higher than I thought.
It's not that much worse, but they're still both pretty bad. But today, hopefully, we've got some better picks. Power Ballad. When Rick, a past his prime wedding singer, meets fading boy band star Danny during a gig, the two bond over music and a late-night jam session. But when Danny turns one of Rick's songs into the hit that reignites his career, Rick sets out to reclaim the recognition he believes he deserves, even if it means risking everything he cares about. It kind of seems like just a fun, heartfelt kind of comedy drama between Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. Those are the two leads. So we'll see how good that is. Also got a re-release this weekend, the 30th anniversary of Trainspotting. Renton, deeply immersed in the Edinburgh drug scene, tries to clean up and get out despite the allure of drugs and the influence of friends. This movie is absolutely surreal. There's at one point where he drops a baggie and he dives into a toilet, and he swims about 20 feet deep into the toilet.
Yeah, it's the original great movie. I like it. I like Danny Boyle stuff. Very disturbing, though, some of the moments in that movie, as you can imagine.
Very disturbing. Good soundtrack, though. We've also got a new movie on Netflix called Mexico 86. This is the story of the man who achieved the impossible in the 1986 Mexico World Cup. When a last-minute chance to host the World Cup appears, a cunning Mexican bureaucrat, armed with nothing but guts and audacity, cons his way through FIFA to beat the United States. But in a country of power games, every victory has a price. And it's got Diego Luna from Rogue One and Narcos Mexico. And then finally, Apple TV, Cape Fear. They're making a series out of it. Javier Bardem plays Max Cady, a vicious and unreformed ex-convict who's released from prison and sets about taking revenge on Tom and Anna Bowden, played by Patrick Wilson and Amy Adams, the married couple who represented him 17 years earlier in court by using his knowledge of the law to evade punishment.
I'll watch this. I hate how Apple drops, 1 or 2, and then they make you wait. Did you guys see either Cape Fear, the movies?
Nope.
I saw the movie.
Yeah, I mean, the original Robert Mitchum, Gregory Peck, and then obviously the one with, Robert De Niro and Nick Nolte.
De Niro, I saw that one. I didn't know about the original.
Yeah, Javier Bardem looks like he's going to play this well.
Yeah, I think Javier Bardem can embody that character very well. And that's all I got today.
All right, that's 12 good minutes there. If you like that, the next reel's available for you there, right there at YouTube. You can go check that out at Next Reels, the Next Reels, and enjoy that. The show being brought to you today by our friends at Inverness Country Club. Brown, tell us about Inverness.
ICCalabama.com. ICCalabama.com is Inverness Country Club, and you are looking for a club home in Birmingham. Inverness Country Club can be that spot for you. Set up a tour right now with our friend Aaron, 205-991-8608, 205-991-8608 for a tour there. What you're going to see is a beautiful golf course. You're going to see a great clubhouse. The food is wonderful there. The tennis facility is being refurbished right now. It's going to be state-of-the-art. Great-looking pool right there with a cabana, resort-style pool. The people are the most awesome part about it. Aaron will set up that tour for you, and you can see it all for yourself. 205-991-8608. 205-991-8608, ICCalabama.com.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, man, you got 10 great locations that's been taking care of folks here in Central Alabama for over 70 years of great compassionate care. Find out everything they offer online on their website, urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com. Listen, prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between, they do that. Men and women, by the way, they can take care of a number of different hormonal needs. For the guys, they can handle the low testosterone, the ED. To make an appointment, 205-930-0920, 930-0920, or go online to urologycentersalabama.com.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Hey, we're going to do the spotlight in just a second. If you can get ready to hit that for us, Tyler. Really interesting that because I was waiting for Brown to bring it up, but he's not going to do it because, like I get blinded sometimes by I like somebody, so I'm not going to bring up negatives about them.
Right.
But, I mean, my goodness, if this had been Bubba Watson or Spieth or somebody like this, it would have led the show today. But apparently Scottie Scheffler laid into his caddy yesterday on the golf course. Everybody in the golfing world is talking about it.
That's what everybody said. I didn't view it that way. I mean, he was frustrated, but I didn't view him as laying into Ted Scott.
Well, I mean, he needs to do something to show a little personality.
But, I mean
that is the most bland guy ever.
We've blasted some golfers in the past for blaming things on their caddy.
Oh, Lance will never forgive Spieth for it. Lance has held on to that forever.
No, I get more upset about the Justin Thomases and the Rory McIlroys pointing out guys, oh, they made a noise. They made a noise. I can't concentrate. I didn't see the Scheffler thing.
He hit it in the water on a par 3. Now, I was not watching at the time. I've seen just the replay on social media.
I've only read about it.
Yeah, I've seen the actual replay where you can literally hear what he's saying as he's walking all the way to the drop area.
Was the shot that bad?
No, it was a good shot. That was his frustration. He felt like he hit a good shot. Maybe they had the wrong club with the wind.
Would you have thrown your club at that one?
Yeah. The frustration seemed to be more about the fact that he hit a good shot and it went in the water and they had the wrong club. I did not view him as just killing Ted Scott.
They got a wrong club, wrong yardage situation?
Or
probably
not wrong yardage, probably wrong adjusted yardage with the wind, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty hard to do without...
I mean, it's a guess. Yeah, I mean, there is a little science to it, but it's a guess. I mean... But this is, I mean, y'all have never seen him do anything like this, so I don't think there's any reason just to.
Well, I'm not saying we should label him that he has a broken halo, but the guy is painted like he's
been arrested.
No emotions.
Yeah, he has been arrested. I think that's it. I think he's just so freaking boring.
Yeah, crazy. President Donald Trump will be at one of the Madison Square Garden games next week, he says, not specifically Game 3. I mean, it could be Game 3. It's going to be one of the Madison Square Garden games. He'll be the first sitting president ever to go to an NBA game.
An NBA game?
NBA Finals.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Is there any chance if Cleveland would have won that series? And I know they got swept out, but do you think he's going to be in Cleveland for one of these games?
I think it's because I would assume he was a Knicks fan. At
Maybe.
some point,
He probably says
But also
he is.
the hype. You know, he likes to be involved in hype.
But the vast, you think President Trump likes to be involved in hype? The vast majority of these celebrities or politicians that I've always been a fan of. I never believe that.
Drives me crazy.
And me too. Like, I mean, I'll give credit to Spike Lee. Spike Lee's always been a Knicks fan.
Yeah.
That guy's been to more Knicks
and maybe,
games.
you know, I don't. Ben Stiller, I seriously doubt his fandom. I mean, he went to that Met Gala instead of going to a Knicks playoff game when he had an opportunity. Timothy Chalamet maybe is like this huge Knicks fan. I don't know if you guys saw his post today. How difficult it is to be a Knicks fan. He's icing his knees in like this big palatial estate that he's rented in San Antonio for the week. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, by the way, our buddy Charles Barkley caught across the canal by a fan says, "What is Charles Barkley doing?" He's power walking down the canal and gets under a bridge, and there's an abandoned chair there that he picks up and starts doing.
Wait a minute.
Lifts.
Charles
starts doing lifts.
Did y'all see the San Antonio Mayor try that chick call him out the other night?
Yeah. Now, he was good-natured about it. Charles was.
She was like, you can't teach class?
Yeah, you can't teach class and character. And Charles laughed about it. So he was lifting a chair?
Yeah. He's power walking. He's under a bridge, and there's a chair or an abandoned chair under the bridge on the canal there, and he grabs the chair and he starts, what are these called? Something press?
Military press?
Yeah, he starts just doing presses above his head with the chair. And everybody was asking, what is Charles doing? I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's working out, guys.
Yeah,
he's walking,
clearly.
But that is kind of weird. Like, power walk's one thing. To pick up a chair.
I mean, I would just think you would just go to the hotel gym before picking up a chair. I mean, I get the power walk.
There's super fan Timothy Chalamet.
Nah, that's pretty funny.
But if you saw the outlook, what he's staring at, I mean, boy, his Airbnb choices, pretty crazy. Do you guys remember he was on Homeland?
No.
I don't know.
He was on the first season of Homeland. He was the vice president's son that got killed in the bombing. But he was dating Dana for a little bit, the hit and run. Do you guys remember that? And he played a really spoiled rich kid well. But that was like his first on-the-scene stuff. There's that look.
So here's the view, the turnaround right there.
Have y'all ever been to the Riverwalk?
I've never been to San Antonio.
You've been to San Antonio?
I thought the Riverwalk was cool. We stayed on it. So our hotel, you just walked in and out on the Riverwalk. So here's the video. Boy, he is slimmed down. Look how much slimmer he is.
So he gets under the bridge and he starts.
What are we doing?
Lifting that
Charles?
chair.
It's somebody's house.
Yeah.
The Riverwalk, not as wide as you would think. Like, I mean, it's you see how narrow it is right there where Charles is. That's about normal for the Riverwalk. So
would you swim it for the Dolphins to get to a Super Bowl?
Oh, for the Dolphins to get a Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah. I texted. I said, hey, I love that San Antonio walking street workout video floating around on social media. Looking strong, lifting that chair. I think you could carry me back to a car again. And he 3 laughing emojis. Thanks, brother.
Think Charles a little swamped right now?
Yeah.
I mean, every time I look at ESPN, he's on from his hotel today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got him working hard.
I'll tell you who works harder than anybody is that PK.
PK Subban?
Yeah. He
hockey?
is everywhere.
He really is.
Now, he looked like Robert Duvall in Apocalypse Now this morning with that hat and those glasses. But, man, they work his ass off.
He's on ESPN and part of the Turner broadcast when it's on Turner.
That's right.
Too,
That's why you see him so much. He does them both. I didn't think about that.
Channels.
Yeah.
He's on every game.
Literally this morning when I was driving in, I was just flipping around, and he was on ESPN radio. I mean, literally, they work his ass to death.
Ryan Leaf, by the way, has a new gig. He's going to be the analyst on the main USA broadcast broadcast for the Pac-12 game of the week.
I saw that he's doing basketball and football for them. Good for Ryan Lee.
Oh, he does basketball too?
I was unaware of that, but I saw that report that he's doing both.
He was a very, very good high school basketball player, but man, he's got an incredible story. You guys know it.
He does. Great backstory and good recovery. I mean, I love second chances. I've been given the greatest second chance in the world, so I'm glad everyone else gets an opportunity at a second chance and make the most of it. And I hope Ryan Leaf continues to live this type of life. Seems like he's found his spot.
All right, let's hit the spotlight, Tyler, and give you one more college football nugget before we get to our final hour of the week here. Hit it, man.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by our guy, Alexander Shinara, trial attorneys, Shinara.com. Shinara.com, that is the place to go when you are in need of any sort of legal situation. When I say the name Alexander Shinara, the vast majority of you probably think, oh, that's a personal injury attorney. Understandable. He's done a lot of work in that field. He's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. But what you may not know is he goes much deeper than that. Fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, workers' compensation, employment claims, much, much deeper than just personal injury. So, if you're in need of any legal assistance, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shinara. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
Texas Tech's head coach, what's his name?
Joey McGuire.
I knew that. We always trash him. He was speaking at the San Antonio Quarterback Club earlier this week, and he says, we've got a big name we're negotiating with for a out-of-conference game to start 2027 and 2028.
Texas.
And he says it's not Texas because, quote, they're scared, says C.J. Vogel. He was in the audience. They're scared. Matt Zenitz, friend of the show, says that they are in negotiations with either USC or Notre Dame. USC or Notre Dame is going to be the likely opponent.
Who was the Notre Dame drop that they said we'll take? Is that what that is?
Texas is the Notre Dame. If Texas drops Notre Dame, we'll gladly slide in. But this is separately
they're doing
from
it independent.
that.
Yeah, I understand Notre Dame. They're going to have to schedule some of these games. I mean, obviously not having an affiliation. But I don't know why Lincoln Riley and USC would want to take this. I mean, if you look at USC's schedule this year, if you were to throw Texas Tech on there.
Is this for next season?
It would be 27 and 28. And I think the question would be, Lance, if you're USC, why are we dropping the Notre Dame game?
Right.
And then picking up Texas Tech, except the difference is Lincoln Riley has said this, USC folks, we want to play Notre Dame. We want to play them the first game of the season.
Right. Notre Dame doesn't want that.
Notre Dame wants it to stay in its traditional place. This Texas Tech game would be the first game of the season.
So in 27, USC has UNLV and Nevada. Those are their two out of conference right now. So they need a third out of conference, so that would be by far and away the best one.
Well, let's just flip
there. In 28, they only have Fresno.
Okay, well, let's say that is their third out of conference. And let's just flip their home and aways this year. They'd have Rutgers at home. They got to go to Oregon. They got to go to Washington. Penn State at home. Wisconsin comes in. They got to go to Ohio State. Indiana comes in.
That's a good schedule.
They go to Maryland, and then they've got UCLA. It's a good schedule. It's a fun schedule, but it's almost an impossible schedule to get to a college football playoff.
Yeah. Sounds like Texas Tech would be a home game in that situation the first time around because you already have a tough road schedule already.
I'm telling you guys what is going to happen, and we're going to love it. If Texas Tech and Texas make the college football playoff, depending on buys and things like that and the seeding, we're going to see those two play.
Or the potential if Texas has a bye
and
Texas
win.
Tech. If Texas Tech wins their first round, they'd get Texas.
I mean, I can't even imagine what the ratings for something like that would be.
Oh, it would be, I mean, obviously if a local team's in, I'm going to be most interested in that one. But beyond that, that would be my most interesting game.
I just hope Joey McGuire, because it's easy to call out Texas right now because you know you don't have to play them. But, you know, if we get to that point, I hope McGuire doesn't back it up and talk about how much respect he's got for the program.
Hey, listen, that was a lot of bluster, but I don't know why he's talking like this.
I want you know what? They were forced to play us.
That's right.
Now we'll see who can come out on top.
That's right.
Yeah, they can't dodge us now. The committee made us play. We're here in the second round of the playoffs. Obviously, we're both good. Let's see who's – see if he plays his 2s and 3s today.
That's right, yeah.
This is not a great helmet game. We love great helmet games, but if you guys could see any matchup in college football this year, would it not be that?
It would be. It would be.
But see how quickly are you adjusting your brain? We are adjusting our brain to consider Texas Tech a good helmet because of the spending now. Because I've quickly adjusted Indiana to being a good helmet game.
Yeah, I'm not there on Texas Tech yet.
You're not yet? Okay.
Yeah, not yet. It's such a weird thing. I actually, I mean, as much as I'm excited about September 19th and what we're going to see with LSU going to Oxford, I would rather see Texas Tech and Texas.
Yeah. I mean, Brooks and I have started to work on this Super League project, and I've paired, I've done
project's a big word.
I've done the division. It's a lot.
Dunaway showed me part of it today. It is,
and I recognize Texas Tech and Indiana as helmets now. I really do.
Indiana definitely is.
When you start pairing up a quote unquote Super League.
Texas Tech is where Indiana was coming into last year for me. Like, okay, we saw it one year. Let's see it again from Texas Tech.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like, for instance, if you were going to divide into divisions, just real quickly, not to give anything away, and you were trying to protect rivalries and stuff, and also sort of historically spread out some wealth, it would be impossible now to put Texas, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech into a 4-team division because that would be almost too difficult. You know what I'm saying? You trying to spread the wealth around.
Of a division.
Texas, Texas Tech, Texas A&M,
and Oklahoma. You couldn't put all them in together. You know what I mean?
We'll throw SMU in there too.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you're going 4-team divisions, you got to spread some people around.
Boy, it'd be a fun division.
That's the kind of respect you have for Texas Tech, and the same with Indiana now. It changes pretty quickly. If we ever get that done, I'll share it with everybody on social media. Brooks will actually. All right. One more hour to go. That was our spotlight today. The show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Listen, something may happen to your air conditioning this weekend. No problem. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, emergency call line. They've got that at Hemp Hill.
It's never ideal when something goes wrong at your home or business, but it is good to know you've got people like the guys at Hemp Hill Services that have been serving Birmingham since 1954. Whether it is plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show brought to you by Champy's world famous fried chicken. Good eating right now. Tyler's craving it because they were out of Pop-Tarts earlier today. You would just chow down on Champy's chicken right now.
I would. I forgot to eat breakfast. Went downstairs during one of our earlier breaks to get a Pop-Tart. No Pop-Tarts to be found, so I am ravenous for some Champy's chicken right now.
Oh, Brian overnight cooked to order, juicy to the bone. But the hand-cut chicken fingers, which Tyler goes to often, he goes chicken with a stick, chicken in a stick, chicken on a stick.
Chicken on a stick.
Chicken on a stick would be weird.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty bad. You got a stick on the outside.
Yeah, you have to break the stick to sort of scoop out the chicken.
Fight for the chicken.
Then you got to pull the splinters out. It'd be horrible. So it's chicken on a stick, the po' boys, and so much more, including the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Champy's Chicken. Go by and see Sterling at some point this weekend, a destination lunch and dinner location. All right, we will do 4 downs coming up a little bit later on in this segment. But we had a passing in the Auburn family yesterday. A longtime voice of the Auburn Network, part of the Auburn Network, Paul Ellen, passed away. 5 decades his voice was heard on Auburn broadcasts. 5 decades. At one point, I think in between Gary Sanders and Jim Fife, I think Paul Ellen actually called play-by-play of football and basketball.
I think you're right on that, yeah.
But then he became known to me. I ran the board term there of doing commercials at local stations in 83 and 84 for the Auburn Network. And Paul Ellen became eventually the voice I associated with the great Dixie Crystal Scoreboard Update. And then later on, it turned to Regions or other sponsors. But when I first heard the Dixie Crystal Scoreboard Update, I believe it was Paul Ellen's voice I was listening to.
And that was pre-internet, so a lot of times he was giving you scores, and he might have been the only way you could get them.
Oh, that's I had Alabama fans when I tweeted that yesterday reaching out. It's like the only reason I was listening to the Auburn Network was because I was driving back from Tuscaloosa and I wanted to score some other game.
And you had no idea how far behind those scores were.
No, that could have been a 30-minute ago score, or Florida State could have just scored right before that update Paul gave me. Yep.
Yeah, so one of those voices that are the fiber of your youth or childhood or of your college football beginnings. Paul Ellen passing away in his 70s. Thoughts and prayers with his families, his friends at the Auburn Network, and everybody at Auburn. Just really a good guy and a long-standing voice in the Southeastern Conference, which got Brown and I thinking before the show as we were throwing together the show today, what are some things you miss about your college football origin story when you first fell in love with the sport? And, you know, those Dixie Crystal Scoreboard Updates were part of it when I was riding around coming back from a game or listening on radio. I actually miss and I know this is the oldest thing I've said today, I actually missed some radio games. And I know the games are still on radio, and our buddy Chris Stewart and everyone, Andy and the guys at Auburn, they do a great job. But there was a time you had to listen to them on radio because there were only a handful of games that were on television. So I ask you guys, your college football origin story, what are some of the things you missed that just aren't there anymore?
I miss carrying a Vegas rotation, or at least the one sheet of all of the games, and writing down my bets on that. Like, it's so antiquated, but now everybody's got their phone, and you don't even call into your bookmaker, and you just put your bets in right there. And you could tell people that were gambling. People had that sheet in their back pocket. They were carrying it around.
Do you remember we used to get them up at Jocks back in the day, the kickoff? You remember that little, was like a one, like a.
But I remember going to Tootie's.
It was at a
Shannara's place back on Green Springs, on the other side of the Green Springs Hill, going down to downtown.
Because they'd have them there?
Yeah, they had the Vegas rotation. You could buy it right there. And I remember, when we booked in college, we'd run to Kinko's, or we'd send a pledge to Kinko's, and you'd run off the sheets, and then you'd pass them around at different fraternity houses.
But
and
it didn't have it had the point spread on there, or just the opening point?
We had the opening point spread.
So
when they would call, hey, 503 here.
All right, that's moved to 5.5.
What do you got, West Virginia, Cal Poly? I'll just throw it out because we're watching that game right now. West Virginia, it says 12 here. Now it's gone up to 13.5.
It sure has.
Oh, and you'd have the guy that tried to bait you, like he wanted Cal Poly, so he'd go lead with West Virginia.
Yeah. Just to see if you were playing that game.
Yeah, but I do miss those days, and even having the brick cell phone, you'd see one person in the crowd that had that. People running to the payphone to call for scores.
Would you adjust your line that you were giving out on the phone by the number of bets you were taking in?
I early on, yes, until actually learned the craft. I'll never forget, Minnesota had this incredible preseason. I think it was Dennis Green's first season, and they were blowing teams out. And then they opened with Green Bay in week 1, and I think Minnesota was like a 1.5 point favorite. And I was like, man, we got to bump this. Everybody's going to be on Minnesota. And we bumped it to like 3.5. And of course, people still played Minnesota, but it scared some people off. And of course, Green Bay wins the game, because that's the way it works in the NFL. But, yes, I learned early on, though, that you just let the number be what the number is.
Let the number be what the number is.
I kind of agree with G. Wilson. As much as we made fun of it, so many things you make fun of that in retrospect you're like, actually, I kind of miss it. As much as we made fun of it, the old Jefferson Pilot game, it felt like your next door neighbor was doing the game for you. It wasn't some ESPN production. It wasn't some national guy. These were people that really cared about the Southeastern Conference. This wasn't our best game. We didn't put our best game here, but it was our friends that were doing it. These are guys that watch SEC football with us, and they're just doing the game for us.
There are some days, I don't know how you guys feel, I hate having the day's best game sometimes at 11 o'clock.
I do too, but there was something about that JP game that was almost like game day. It began your Saturday ritual.
Right.
So you'd watch a little game day.
But I got to ease into it. Yeah.
And then everybody was all on board on that game. And you're right. I mean, a lot of those games were Arkansas, Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Yeah, I mean, the JP game allowed Vandy and Kentucky to ease me into my college football Saturday.
That's it. And now, sometimes it's the biggest game of the day at 11 o'clock on Fox, and sometimes we'll get a huge one on ABC or ESPN. But back then, the best games were at 2:30 or in prime time. So at the 11 o'clock window, we were all easing our way in. We were all watching it. But remember how if you had some greatness happen in the 11 o'clock, you were like, man, look at it. I mean, we've got 3 games.
We got all the good games left.
And we still got all the good games.
Know,
we are not wasting. We are in on these games that if only the good games are going on, or if 2 big games are going on right now, we may not be locked in on what Arkansas and Kentucky are doing.
Yeah. My dad to this day will be like, what time's that Texas-Florida game? 11 o'clock. Oh, they got the old JP game. He will still to this day call it the JP game.
Another thing I miss, I love the accessibility where you can watch any game now. But I remember going to places like PT's when you had regional coverage, and you guys will remember the infamous when Oregon and Michigan State played locally, and I had to change my address to New York to watch that.
I do.
But I remember going to a PT's, and you could see all the games, and it was just something special about being able to watch these games that nobody else was watching around here.
It was like walking into the toy section at a big department store when you were a kid. If you knew you were watching, I've got to go here. and I get to watch on this magical television games that nobody who are staying at home, normal people can't see this. You got to be right here, right now with these people watching these games here. It was amazing.
And back to the Paul Ellen thing.
And it also made Saturdays when, hey, we've got a triple header this week on ABC on Thanksgiving weekend or something. It made it seem like a holiday because usually it was one game, occasionally a doubleheader. We never had wall to wall like we have now.
Yeah, but back to what you started talking about with Paul Ellen on the TV side, like if before every game was on, if there was a big upset brewing, man, you waited with bated breath for John Saunders to break back in on ABC and tell you how that turned out.
Or in my day, Brownie, they didn't do studio updates. What you did, they didn't have the ticker. They'd put the score up at the bottom. Like in between plays, it'd be like, oh, Penn State has scored and they're now leading Notre Dame.
Did you at least watch the ticker back then?
Oh, yeah, I did watch the ticker back then. There was no other way to get the score. But the best part about it was when John Saunders would do the update, and he was, all right, guys, UCLA has Miami against the ropes, but the Hurricanes score right here on this 8-yard run by so-and-so, so-and-so. But then he would end it as he kicked it back to the stadium like, but UCLA has the ball inside Miami's 40. And you're like, wait a minute, UCLA's back?
Now you can turn and watch it.
I know, yeah, but my only bridge to the finish of that game was when John Saunders came back at some point to tell me how it ended.
And see, you guys are too young, but I'm telling you, before the ticker, before smartphones and computers, and before you could call up that stupid 1-800 number we used to call.
Called? Score.
Tell me.
Tell me.
Yeah, before you could do that.
1-800 tell me.
Yeah.
Scores. College football. Michigan State. Michigan State. Michigan State.
Before you did all of that, just sitting there waiting between plays of a game sometimes you didn't care about. It could be Stanford and Washington playing, but you were watching because, Alabama and Mississippi State's, well, you'd be listening to Alabama, but it'd be a game and they'd show the game you'd care about, and you'd be like, oh, that's close. And it would be nestled in between Lehigh and Slippery Rock. And then another game you didn't care about, but it'd be a big game, and that'd be the only way you get score up.
I remember I would get so excited. So from the PTs, then it went DirecTV, the ESPN game plan. And you'd pay like $150 for the entire season. And I remember you didn't get the lineup until the week of, and it would roll on that channel and show you what games you were going to be watching. But I'll also never forget that, and I think I told you guys this, Hawaii would always play these 11 o'clock kicks, and they had the worst play-by-play guy in the history of play-by-play.
Was it Prime Sports or something like that? It was
something
some weird
like that.
network.
But I mean, literally, you'd be up till 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, they still start some Hawaii games and West Coast games late, but typically you're not going to get anything past a 10 o'clock kick, but you would get those 11 o'clock kicks all the time, and I loved it.
Had this note all week. Times out perfectly. Because Timmy Chang is doing such a good job at Hawaii, you'll get 7 nationally broadcast Hawaii football games this year that you'll be able to watch. Some of those late night.
What time will they be kicked?
Some of those late night.
Yeah.
At Stanford, ACC Network's the first one. Then you got 3 on the CW and 3 on Maine Fox.
I just want 11 o'clock kicks.
Maine Fox Hawaii game?
Yep.
Wow.
So that's going to be after late local.
Yeah.
Because I can stay up really late on Saturdays now with the Rams playing prime time every week.
It's gonna have a weird. That's true. You don't have a lot of Sunday games to worry about, do you? It's gonna have a weird feel with not being an old Aloha Stadium. They play in that really small campus facility, don't they?
They're rebuilding it.
Are they
refurbishing it?
Well, they're building a new Aloha Stadium, I think.
But it's not done yet.
No. I think they're still in that small campus stadium,
and that does hurt the home games.
Yeah.
And those may all be. I don't think they all can be road games. Obviously, at Stanford is. I don't know what the other 3 CW and 3 Fox games are. I miss smaller conferences. I know I've been trumpeting the super conferences and things like that, but I do miss the small conferences. And Brown and I were talking before. LT, imagine now in the SEC if it was still just 10 teams. You could play a 9-game schedule and play everybody.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't need a conference championship game because you played everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way it used to be.
Yeah. But we never played everybody.
Well, you would get those awkward ties, right? Like a 3-way tie.
Yeah. Well, but like the Big Eight.
We had a 6-game schedule and then a 7-game schedule in the SEC when it was 11 games, and there was only 10 teams in the league. why they didn't think of to play 9 games back in the day.
I know,
have no
it doesn't
idea.
make sense. But did not the Big 8 and the Southwest Conference used to play a complete round robin? Am I right about that?
I
think
would
they did.
imagine the Big 8 and the Southwest could do that.
Yeah. I think when we were kids, the Big 8 and the Southwest Conference, you only had the one champion because they played a round robin.
Because shockingly, the Big 8 had how many teams, Brown?
That was 8, Jim.
Had 8.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember a time when Oklahoma, Nebraska was by far the biggest rivalry out there. Florida State and Miami followed shortly after. But Ohio State, Michigan, to me growing up meant nothing because those teams weren't elite at that point.
Yeah, and for half of our audience, for you, what you just said, but it was 100% true for most of my life. Oklahoma, Nebraska, one of those teams was always number one.
Well,
or number
and the
two.
winner of that game was playing in the Orange Bowl, and they were playing for a national championship. And it was normally Oklahoma, at least when I was watching, and then it swung back to Nebraska.
Coach, you guys couldn't believe I used to feel this way. I think you say you couldn't believe I used to feel this way, but I used to always think Texas and Texas A&M was the biggest rival for Texas because Oklahoma and Nebraska was such a big rival. I didn't think you could have 2 rivals like that. And when I said that, you guys were like, no, Oklahoma's always been Texas' biggest rival. I was like, when I was growing up, I didn't think it was. I always thought it was A&M.
I mean, for you guys outside of Alabama, Auburn, what was the biggest rivalry growing up?
Well, I mean, the games that I had to watch because it was the only game on as a kid, USC Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, Army, Navy. Those were the 4 biggest ones other than Alabama and Auburn. And oftentimes Alabama and Auburn was not on television.
Yeah, my top 2 for sure would be Oklahoma, Nebraska, and Florida State, Miami.
Florida State, Miami for me.
And truthfully, USC, UCLA was huge when I was growing up too.
The school bell. And when I moved into high school, I mean, keep in mind that was the launch of divisions. Florida, Tennessee was massive, but that was when I was in high school. I'll tell you a sneaky one. Y'all aren't going to believe this one until you think back at this time frame. But for me, a sneaky good rivalry in my formative years was Colorado, Nebraska. Remember that moment where Bill McCartney, and they would always, I think, play on Black Friday, and it always felt like a good game, and Nebraska was always trending towards the national championship, and Colorado would have them down in the 4th quarter or something like that. That was a sneaky big rivalry.
It was.
Now, it didn't last long. It burned bright and fast.
Thank you to Paul Ellen, who passed away, just for allowing us not only to enjoy college football with you over the years, but to walk down memory lane in your honor today. The show being brought to you before we get to 4 downs by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City wants to help you out, and he will do that. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call this number, 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. StormRestorationRoofing.com is the website. Or go to his Facebook page, Greg from Pell City. He'll show you some of his work there as well. But you don't need to go check out his work. All you have to do is trust the fine folks with the Business Bureau. He's A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. You can trust the fact that he's been doing it locally for over 20 years. He and his wife, Andrea, own the company. They're deep-rooted here. They've got 10 kids. They're not going anywhere. He backs up his work, and he has a great price point because he's a good Alabama family man, and he knows about keeping a roof over a family's head, and he wants to help you out as well. He appreciates your patience as he works around these thunderstorms. He's getting to everybody there, doing all the work, but that free no-cost roof inspection starts off with one phone call, 205-542-3531, StormRestorationRoofing.com.
And 4 downs every day presented by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. Road work, it seems like it's going on all the time. You're riding around Alabama and you see those major state government, federal government, municipal roadway projects in Alabama. There is a good chance you're seeing our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction doing those, and that may indicate to you they got all the work they can handle. They're making all the money they can count, and while that would be fantastic, it's just simply not true. They do great work, but they can do it for you too. Driveways, parking pads, parking lot for a church or a convenience store or a community center or something like that. They can do all of that. Same crews, same quality, same no excuse standards. All of that right there with our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. For jobs big or small, get your estimate by calling 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Forrester, you're going to love this one. Kenny G, 70 years old today. Kenny G or Eazy-E?
I thought you were going to go Kenny G or Kenny Stabler.
I mean, the Snake would win that one. But imagine, just think about this for a moment. Kenny G multi-decade, made a name for himself just playing an instrument.
Oh, yeah.
Not singing a word.
And
never sang a word.
I read yesterday he sold like 40 or 50 million records worldwide. It's easy for me.
Yeah,
I
not
mean,
even close.
NWA, the impact, and this is a guy that was basically, and you guys have probably seen Straight Outta Compton. Now, I kind of knew the story before, but they didn't really have a front man, and they needed a voice, and he had one of the most unique voices. Unfortunately, died in 1995. I'll never forget, I was at PCB, Panama City, on spring break when I got the news. We all poured one out for Eazy-E. But, a guy that sold drugs literally. Like, our gangster rappers are not gangster rappers anymore. These guys literally sold drugs. They killed people. I'm not saying it was a good thing at all.
Yeah, but that's how they got the name gangster rapper.
But it is a lot different than it used to be.
Gangster rappers of now are not gangster rappers.
No.
The Chicago rappers and the New York rappers that are popping up these days, serial killers, legitimately.
But think about how hard it is to make a living in the music industry just playing an instrument, not singing a word.
Look,
this day and age, not Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong, that's back when.
Well, right. And what was the demographic for Kenny G? I guess with that long hair.
Women, dance party, I don't know. Christmas.
I think he did a couple of Christmas albums.
Probably.
But I mean, there was...
Huge mistake in the chat says, love me some Kenny G at Christmas.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, adult radio. What was that?
Adult contemporary. Adult contemporary.
Adult contemporary was popular when Kenny G was popular, and so he had a home there.
Yeah.
Magic 96.
Magic 96.5. Here's Kenny G for you.
Get you through your workday.
Second down.
I used to love listening to JT on Magic 96. I'm JT.
Oh, it was never with that much energy. Was on Magic 96.
Had to be quiet.
Yeah, it was always like another 6-song music block from our friends at Magic 96.
My favorite was when Jennifer and I were in Dallas, and we just picked up a rental car, and whatever station it was on was playing a song we didn't hate, so we just left it on as we were driving to the hotel. And he goes, right now, let me tell you who JT is. JT's a guy we used to work with. Jeff Tyson is his on-air name, guy we used to work with at Cumulus, and he's still, I think, doing WERC and Magic 96.
Yeah, News Talk, I believe.
Yeah, but he's based here in Birmingham. But with us, he was on Rick and Bubba's station, 94.5, and he would just do the afternoons. That's Kenny G for you on your drive home, stuff like that. So Jennifer and I are in Dallas, and the song ends, right out of the song. That was Celine Dion's JT with you on your drive home. Boy, I was out there in McKinney the other night, and I'm like, that's JT. He's doing this for Birmingham, and he's talking about being somewhere in McKinney, Texas. I'm like, come on.
He
JT.
really was?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. JT's voice tracking it from Birmingham, and he was talking, I was up at McKinney the other day. They got that brand new Whataburger up there.
Not shocking. Radio's gotten really cheap.
I know.
You already hit second down, right?
Yeah.
Torrey Holt, 50 years old today. Sam Darnold, 29. Ultimately better career, Sam Darnold or Torrey Holt?
One Super Bowl for Torrey?
Yep. Played in 2.
It's always easy to go quarterback here.
Yeah.
I'm going to sneakily pull it upset here and say Torrey Holt. I don't think Sam Darnold wins again.
Yeah,
I don't know if Holt's. I don't think Sam Darnold's ever going to be a Hall of Famer. I love where he is right now in his career, and I think it's a great comeback story. Torrey Holt, borderline Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's ever going to get in. I think he's deserving, but for receivers to get in,
I think I'd go Torrey Holt.
Yeah, I would go Torrey Holt.
I think Holt gets in because he was part of the
Greatest Show on
Turf, and I think because of what that meant to the league, that team, gray area players will get in.
I hope so.
When he was at NC State,
he played in that Alabama.
That's what I was going to ask. In '95, when Alabama went up there. That was the one where
Torrey Holt, I think he had a big game.
Where Gene Stallings got in the argument. You remember that? Dunaway with the coach afterwards?
Hey, we're turning it over to guys like you.
Michael Caine, right?
Michael Caine, he and Michael Caine got in that argument up in Raleigh.
Flight got delayed, and O'Cain, you missed your window to work out on the field. You can't work out on the field now.
So they went Alabama do the walkthrough, huh?
Went Alabama do the walkthrough, and Stallings was pissed off.
I just want to see if I can find this. I don't know if it'll pop up or not.
Probably not. That was
October 7th of 1995.
How about that? Did you go to that game? Oh, yeah, because that's where you saw that. You were at midfield, weren't you?
No, I had it on camera.
Yeah. Stallings getting on his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have posted it all on my socials if they existed.
Is that right? 27-11, Alabama.
Sounds about right. That's a Gene Stallings score. Very believable.
Yep. Brian Bergdorf started the game.
Yeah,
Yep.
sounds right. So
I think it was a late touchdown to make that comfortable.
Torrey Holt, only 2 receptions, 50 yards.
Yeah, you remembered that wrong, didn't you?
Yeah, it felt like it was 20-11 until very, very late.
How about Stallings was out for blood? He put 27 on him.
That's right. He kept scoring after he's up by more than one score.
I'm asking this seriously. Is Bergdorf still alive?
I have no idea.
I never heard from him.
Yeah.
And I was much, much younger and cooler then, but we were, occasionally hang out buddies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. After his playing days.
I did not know that.
Not for long.
He didn't ask you to invest in anything, did he?
There was not,
He did
you
not. Maybe we were close enough friends. He knew I had no money, so we stopped being friends.
You and 8 friends were hanging out with him.
Yeah.
Third down.
Robert Kraft, 85 years old today. Mark Wahlberg, 55. Both big Boston sports fans. Better career, ultimately, Mark Wahlberg or Robert Kraft?
Well, I mean, I know money. Kraft will dwarf Wahlberg.
But I mean, I would think Wahlberg's got a chance at creeping on $1 billion.
Yeah,
with all
but
his,
what is Kraft? I mean,
I know it's not even close.
Outside of the NFL, his money.
I mean, I know Kraft, what he's done and everything, but for me, it's Wahlberg. I mean, I enjoy just what he did with Entourage. I mean, that was such a formative show for me. I enjoyed it so much. I've watched it probably all the way through at least 4 times.
I'm just not a Mark. I loved him in The Departed. I loved him in Boogie Nights, but outside of that, I just don't like anything he does.
You got a network here?
How many people did 2 works of art that you like that much as you do those 2 things? Because I know how much you like both of those films. I mean, that's got to be a short list of people that did 2 works of art that you like as much as you do those 2 movies. That's a pretty high regard.
I mean, there's still a good bit of people that do more than 2 really good movies.
Has Tom Cruise done 2 things you like as much as Boogie Nights and...
I mean, if you're doing the combination of movies, but I mean, Tom Cruise has done so much, from Magnolia to, cheesy movies like Top Gun and all the right moves.
But I'm saying for you, 2 movies
Don't forget Cocktail.
2 movies that you like as much as the combination of
if you combo the best 2 he's done.
Boogie Nights. Is Tom Cruise's 2 best movies for you that you personally like? I think because I know your respect for Boogie Nights and The Departed. Top Gun doesn't reach either one of those for you.
but I mean, to me, Mark Wahlberg does nothing but trash now.
What'd you have on Kraft?
Trash.
Net worth.
So I didn't pull up Kraft. I pulled up Marky Marks. He's got an estimated net worth of $400 million, far more than the rest of the Funky Bunch, I assume.
I would think so. Yes.
Don't mention the Funky Bunch. He doesn't like to talk about his.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
His white rapping days.
He's got a new movie coming out where he's got a big fake nose. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I have not.
I think it's called By Any Means.
What would you guess is Robert Kraft's net worth? I'm going to say it's $1 billion.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2.1.
I would
2.1.
I'd 7.4.
You guys are way off.
Try 13.8 billion. Dude, I mean,
that's what you get $1 billion. Just
is he behind Kraft Foods?
Yes.
Oh,
Kraft Food Group.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Kraft Food Group. Yeah.
And Gillette, right?
I think Gillette as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the money's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mark Wahlberg, from where he came to where he is now, you got to give the guy a lot of credit, and he's got a he's a very regimented guy. I don't like a lot of the movies he does.
I mean, how if you're
Daddy's Home 2 though, good Christmas movie.
How if you're Nick Saban at some point when this NIL thing was starting, did you not try? Because I assume Robert Kraft doesn't have a favorite college. That you were not trying to work in and say, hey, you know, Bob, you can be our biggest donor here for my football program. We're moving to the NIL now, and you just tell me what you want. We can get you a suite. We can do whatever you want.
You know what's crazy?
Do you know what you could do with $13.8 billion?
Yeah, I know.
What you could give away on an NIL
I'm sure he never gets set up for that.
Yeah.
You know what's wild about that is the only time I've ever seen Robert Kraft in person was at that Alabama-Texas game.
That's right.
You remember that? And he was down on the sidelines for Alabama-Texas out at the Rose Bowl.
He's a little dude, isn't he?
Yeah, he was not huge, but what was weird...
Did he have French cuffs on?
It was right after his wife had passed, or soon after his wife had passed, and he had a...
young girl.
20-ish dime piece on his arm.
Yeah.
And was in like designer, I'm sure they're more than my mortgage payment, but designer jeans. He was trying to look cool, but the designer jeans, he still had the French cuff shirt tucked in with no tie on.
Yeah.
It was such a weird look.
Yeah.
It was like, this is my look, but I got to look cool too.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to. She dressed me up into my waist,
That's
but
right.
I'm still going old man with money top here.
Yeah, no tie, just the French cuff shirt tucked into jeans. It was a strange look.
Before we go to the next one, I've got a hot take on Kraft mac and cheese.
Okay, let me first say I'm not certain he is Kraft Foods. Let me back off on that. It was definitely Gillette.
By the way,
It is Gillette for sure.
Yeah,
No, you don't have to do
Goodles
that.
is the way you need to go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we do in the house. I was about to say that.
That's all. I mean, I probably eat Goodles 3 times a week.
I
No connection to Kraft Foods.
Yep, I was wrong about that. It is Gillette. Yeah. Go ahead, though.
By the
What's
way,
your-
I used to not like mac and cheese. Well documented on the show, said it for years. But this year, I'm craving it now. Your taste buds change as you go through life, and now I'm into mac and cheese, and I have the Googles twice a week.
Yeah, I do the
protein.
Chetty Mac, and then I also do the I think it's Shella Good with the shells and the creamy sauce. That stuff is legit. Have you ever had Goodles?
I don't think they carry those brands in my grocery store.
No, well they do at Publix. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, but it's a healthier alternative.
That's
and
it, I've never heard of it.
But it's a better taste too.
More fiber, more protein.
Oh, it's so good.
My hot mac and cheese take is that the Kraft noodles that come in the shapes, like the SpongeBob characters and such,
garbage.
Better
Oh,
because it has
interesting.
more
Yeah.
surface area to hold cheese.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's hard to, but I still like the old school tubes.
Yeah, the orange.
No, I'm with you. I like the shells because it's almost you're getting a dump truck full of cheese every time.
Yeah, it's like a mini dumpling full of cheese.
Yeah. That's your hot take of the day right there.
4th down.
So on this day in 1952, the first ever nationally televised sporting event, it was Jersey Joe Walcott defeats Ezzard Charles in 15 rounds heavyweight championship in Philadelphia. If I asked you guys, what was the first sporting event you remember watching on TV? Mine is very random. I think it was 1977 or 78, and it was Joe Ferguson of the Bills taking on Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers.
I would have to say, though, I was 6 years old at this time, so certainly I'd watched one before, but I cannot 100% say I did. I remember my parents having friends over to watch Bear Bryant's final game against Illinois in the Liberty Bowl, and I don't remember...
1982, right?
Yes.
I vaguely remember. I might remember Bo Over the Top. Bo Over the Top was the game where there was a tornado warning during the game for Birmingham.
No.
Was that the year before?
That was the year after.
Walter Lewis was the quarterback, right?
That was
the
tornado game was either 84 or 85. Bow Over the Top was
83.
Yeah,
I was at 84. That was a nice day. So
85 then. It was
85 was
Bo's
Van Tiffen kick. That couldn't have been 85. I think it was Bo Over the Top was the tornado game.
Don't think it was, but I may be wrong. I'll be wrong. I'll be glad to be wrong, but I think you're incorrect.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah. For me, I don't know which one of these are first. My two earliest sports memories are I was sick, and my grandfather was one of the few times I was still young enough. I was living with my parents. I was sick, and my grandfather, who was still alive at the time, came up, and it was a late Sunday afternoon. He had to stay with me because mom and dad were going somewhere, and I had we called it a pallet, a blanket out.
I used to love sleeping on a pallet.
A blanket out in the middle of the floor, and it was a late Sunday afternoon, and Joe Namath was quarterbacking the Jets. Now, I don't know. Now, he did this after the other one. My other memory was January 1, 1972 Orange Bowl, Nebraska housing Alabama. And I remember that one
Did you cry?
even more because I was so upset because it was 28-0 at halftime. And I remember
James Senior's breaking shit.
I remember being so upset. I was at my grandparents' house at that time that I have asthma. They had to take me to the hospital.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
because Bama got beat so bad?
Yeah. So
I bet you weren't the only one there because of
we
that
had to
either.
go to the emergency room because
Yeah.
my
You
breathing had gotten so bad. I
Hyperventilated like that since you saw Taylor Swift.
I couldn't calm down enough.
You know the nurse was like, we got another one in here because of the score.
Yeah. Too much alcohol? Nope. Just asthma.
Can't breathe.
God knows.
Sadly, back then, probably battered wives coming in.
Oh, no doubt. Hey, 83 Iron Bowl. So that was after the Bryant game. But I do remember watching the tornado warning game because it was Mike Royer was doing weather here in Birmingham, and he kept having to break in about the tornado, and people were pissed.
And they stopped breaking in because they were getting so many phone calls.
Yeah, so many phone calls. They just
I'll deal with that tornado.
Yeah, I know.
Keep me full screen.
I need the Tide to put a drive together here.
They didn't stop the game.
No,
And,
played right through it.
And the tornado was in Bessemer tracking towards Legion Field, and they didn't stop the game.
And played in.
But that was the Bow over the top game.
No, Bow over the top was 82. That was Bryant's last Iron Bowl, and then 83, which is Perkins' first Iron Bowl.
Damn, I cannot believe. I thought they did delay it. I remember
never
watching that game. You know, it's crazy. I was at a concert
downpour.
Sunday night, Jason Bonham and the Led Zeppelin Experience at Avondale, but like they had to keep delaying that up until, you know, it was supposed to start earlier than it did, and like there wasn't even really. I mean, everybody's so weather aware, which you need to be now.
Yeah, lightning within 30 minutes or 5 miles or whatever it is, you're going to stop it.
So in that game, was that Bo the wrong way?
No, wrong way. Bo was 84. So Bo made a long touchdown run in that one.
Yeah,
in the rain.
McGinty's
that was
bad
84.
Kick. It was 84. Same one. Bo's wrong way. McGinty's
wrong
bad
way.
kick.
Bo and McGinty's bad kick. Because if you remember,
so 83 Auburn won. Yeah.
Yeah, 83 Auburn won. Wrong way. Bo was they're down on the goal line, and Pat Dye had played for the field goal, and instead of taking the field goal, he goes for 4th and goal from like the 1 or 2, and the backs cross, and Brent Fullwood gets blown up, right? Yeah. And that was wrong way Bo. They said Bo went the wrong way and didn't be the lead blocker. Bama, of course, can't get a first down, so they have to kick it back to Auburn, and that's when Dye settles for the field goal, and McGinty kicks it out of the side of the end zone, and Alabama wins.
Horrible kick.
I'd say.
Yeah. Interesting. Was that the fourth one?
That was it.
That's 4 Downs, brought to you by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt. We'll do trash coming up on the other side. The show today being also brought to you by the wonderful folks at Odie's. LT, tell us what you can get at Odie's on a Friday night.
You can get live music. You get in there a little early. You can watch Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Sit back, enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis, the award-winning wings, delicious burgers, fantastic sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, and then get ready for the live music. They do it at both locations, Friday and Saturday night. Original location right there in Crestline. Newest location in Edgewood, on Broadway and Homewood. Get in and see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
I meant to tell you yesterday because you asked me about 4 seasons, and we were coming back from a break on Netflix, and I was going to tell you would hate it, so don't watch it.
Well, Jennifer, one of Jennifer's friends said, y'all need to watch that next, 4 seasons. So she told Jennifer she would like it.
How well do those people know you?
Pretty well. And they know Jennifer better than they know me, but they know us.
What's the angle he's not going to like?
What am I not going to like about it?
It's a
lot of dogs,
little cheesy,
throw club,
little cheesy, and there's some other things I don't think he'll like in it. It's just I just don't. I watched the first 2 episodes of the new season yesterday, and I was like, ooh, nowhere close to as good as the first year.
Okay, well,
yeah. So if you do like the first year, don't get too invested because the first 2 episodes of the second season
pretty weak.
sucks.
Why? That is a trend in streaming shows. Like they have a great first year and then they just cannot recapture it.
But I remember liking the first year a lot.
Yeah.
And then I went back and watched the next 2, and I'm like, I should tell Brown I don't think he's going to like this.
I couldn't pull the trigger on it. As a kid, I remember watching the movie with Alan Alda and Carol Burnett. It was one of those that was on rotation on HBO, so I probably saw it 4 or 5 times. But, I had no desire to watch it.
Last night, the historic career of Nyjah Kennedy, the pitcher for Texas Tech, started a career at Stanford, to me became the first $1 million NIL female athlete.
In front of Caitlin Clark, you think?
I think before she got that $1 million to leave to go to Texas Tech. You know, Caitlin sort of stayed. I never knew what Caitlin was making.
Yeah, I'd bet it was $1 million or more.
I mean, obviously the twins at Miami.
Yeah, Cavender twins
made $1 million like that, but not really for on the court. But she was a big deal, and she got blasted in the final inning. They lose the game, so her career ends with back-to-back national runner-ups. Texas sweeps Texas Tech. They go back-to-back, and there's the celebration. In fact, the other pitcher for Texas, Tegan Cavan, was tremendous both nights. But Texas, the SEC wins there, and a little fun on social media. What does Texas Tech throw when they play football?
It'd be tortillas.
Tortillas, yeah.
Tortillas. I went too heavy on the L. Tortillas.
So on Texas softball social media last night, after the national championship, there's the tortilla with the L cut in it laying on the turf there.
I like how college football or college athletics accounts have become more like the fans. and are willing to have a little fun, talk a little smack, don't take themselves so seriously.
How much latitude do the social media directors get, though?
Yeah,
because
it seems like more now than ever before.
A lot until they screw it up.
I mean, you remember when the Houston Rockets rolled out that one on the Mavericks with the gun and the horse and ended up losing his job? I mean, there's been some ridiculous things that people have lost their jobs, but that's part of it. You get really creative.
I know, and then
you push a line.
All it takes is one too far.
Yeah, and you probably don't get paid extra for being creative.
No, you're just pushing the boundaries to have fun.
You're being creative and risking your your livelihood for being creative. So that's what you say. Auburn golf.
Yes.
Texas softball.
Yes.
The SEC is on a roll.
Boy,
man.
we are grasping for straws.
What is wrong with the? Oh wait, one more.
What?
The National Championship of Bass Fishing, SEC. Auburn wins it, man.
I liked it better when we won football all the time.
Bass Fishing Club. Well, maybe this is the beginning, Brad.
Maybe.
If the SEC wins the baseball championship, maybe it bleeds into football season.
You could put all these sports together, and it wouldn't equate to the eyeballs you see on one quarter of football.
No, you're right. But, hey, we got to win something. Boy, that bass on the far left, the kid on the left is holding, that is a big old fish.
Yeah, in his right hand?
Yeah, the one in his right hand, but the furthest left on our screen.
Yeah.
That looks like a big old fish.
Yeah, crazy.
Good for those fellas.
Congratulations, guys. I forgot to write your name down.
We really didn't need the name. We just needed one more win.
SEC. All right, that gets us to Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Tyler, hit the big button.
Are you guys, do heights bother you guys?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I can't even watch this.
But does it give you that weird tingle behind your balls?
Nope.
Behind my what?
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. I came across this story, so before we get to yours, Tyler, got a South Carolina woman is safe after a truck driver saved her from an alleged kidnapping. Jonathan Willard, 39, was arrested on Saturday, according to the county sheriff's office, charged with kidnapping and impersonating a law enforcement officer. Willard is accused of trying to kidnap a woman on Friday. Deputies said he allegedly told the victim he was a police officer. Anthony Moore told WRDW he helped the victim after she ran out into the road. His dash cam captured the woman frantically running from the woods, begging for help, handcuffed. He went on to say she would run to one side of the road. He'd try to run her over. Then she'd run to the other side. He'd try to run her over there. He told WRDW the victim asked for help and said Willard was trying to kidnap her. When Willard reached Moore's vehicle, he claimed to be a law enforcement officer and held something up. He went on to say she jumped in my car and said he's not an officer. He tried to kidnap me. When he called 911, he told the 911 dispatcher, they said, well, could it be legit? Is he a police officer? He said, quote, hell no, because he's in a white Cadillac. Can you imagine seeing a woman run from the woods handcuffed? But the video is shocking a lot of people out there. This guy has been arrested. He's got priors. But they're asking the question now, like, how many people has he kidnapped?
I mean, that is scary. Like, I was pulling out onto 280 today, and I merged in traffic behind a completely blacked out SUV. Black SUV, completely blacked out. And it doesn't have like police lights on top, but they're in the windows. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, I just randomly thought, if that were behind me, would I pull over for that?
Well, I mean,
it does not look.
It's one thing for us to be pulled over. Can you imagine our daughters being pulled over?
No, I've told my daughter.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
I've told my daughter, if it is not obviously a police officer, you drive the speed limit. Don't speed. Drive the speed limit in front of them. Use your blinker and all, and go to a fire station. Go to a well-lit convenience store. Pull right up in the door. Don't worry about handicap parking. Pull right up in the door. Just go somewhere where there are a lot of people.
Yep.
And do it on the speed limit. And I'm like,
and explain to the officer why
that's
when it
right.
comes to
when
the door if it's
and,
a real police
and
officer.
if he's got a problem with that, I told her Tommy Spina will sort it out for us.
That's right.
I can promise you.
KFC fans can now buy a piece of fast food history as Colonel Sanders' former home has now been listed for sale in Canada. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, why was Colonel Sanders living in Canada?
Thought he was
I'll
American.
get to that. Now, the house is in Ontario. Once belonged to Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC and the face of one of the most recognizable restaurant brands in the world. Now, according to the listing, the Lakeview area home is on the market for just under $1.5 million Canadian dollars, which works out roughly to $1 million US. Sanders lived in the home from 1965 until his death in 1980 after moving to Canada to oversee KFC's operations north of the border. Now, the listing describes the home as having 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, over 2,000 square feet of finished living space, 2 laundry areas, and parking for 4 vehicles. Also features renovated kitchen, updated bathrooms, maple hardwood flooring, and a private bathroom.
I'm going to argue with the parking for 4 people there based on that photo.
Very modest house for the Colonel.
And also, did he really move to Canada to oversee the operations of KFC in Canada?
This feels like a little bit of a scam to me.
Tyler, did we go through his amazing story? Like, I don't know if you guys know the backstory on Harlan Sanders, but if they're ever going to do a biopic, they need to do it on this guy.
That would actually be cool.
Okay, here we go. He moved to Canada, like you said. He sold all of KFC in the United States to an investment group. He retained the rights to it in Canada.
Interesting.
So that's why he moved up to Canada, because he had already made all of his money in the U.S. He got paid off to sell that off, I guess, to the young folks.
Was he still a colonel in Canada? Did they recognize his rank?
What's it called up there? What is it?
The Royal Mounted Police.
Yeah. What was he up there?
The RMP?
Yeah. But, you know, our friend Morgan, who watches the show and supports Alabama basketball, he lives in the state of Kentucky. They have this thing called Kentucky Colonels, which is how he is Colonel Sanders. Harlan is really a colonel.
Yeah.
Granted by the governor of the state of Kentucky.
Not a military colonel.
Not a military colonel, but
honorary colonel.
Recognized by the state of Kentucky. It's an organization. And Morgan went through the process and got Nate Oates the rank of colonel in the Kentucky government.
Yeah,
so Nate Oates is a colonel.
Did we tell the story of Harlan Sanders when we?
I don't remember,
because I remember talking about this with Morgan doing that.
Yeah. So he ended up Nate Oates in the state of Kentucky is recognized as Colonel Nate Oates.
Colonel Nate Oates.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be it's gonna be bad for Alabama if he's the Kentucky coach one day. But can you imagine having Colonel Oates on the sidelines?
If he ever leaves Alabama for Kentucky, I'll blame it on Morgan.
I would if I were you. Second highest ranked. General Neyland is the highest ranked coach in SEC history. Nate Oates will be second highest.
Let's tease it for next week. I don't know, Tyler, if you can help me find the true story on Colonel Harlan Sanders, but it is freaking amazing, and I'm telling you, it would be an incredible movie. 24-year-old man arrested after Florida Highway Patrol investigators say they recovered stolen radiological device that has been listed on sale on Facebook Marketplace. Marco Benitez Jr. arrested May 28th after the investigation into the theft of a moisture density gauge valued at $10,000 to $20,000. Now, the device contains cesium-137, radiological isotope, according to troopers. Now, they said the gauge is typically used to measure the density and inner structure of materials, including moisture levels in soil and asphalt. If damaged or improperly handled, the agency said the device can expose people to radiation that can cause, as you guessed it, serious health problems. Investigation began on May 26th. Investigators and intelligence received a tip about a private party sale of the device on Facebook Marketplace. Troopers said the listing was posted by Benitez.
And how do you list it? It says blah, 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 and it glows in the dark.
I mean, how small is the market for you to be able to sell this?
Well, I would imagine that is only bought by people looking to do harm.
Yeah, I think he wanted what was inside of it for some reason, which is very, very scary.
Gauge seized as evidence, safekeeping. Benitez was charged with grand theft of $10,000 to $20,000.
Now, this guy does not look on the surface to be a criminal mastermind, so that may be even scarier.
Virginia woman seeking $1.5 million in damages from Outback Steakhouse after she allegedly slipped on mashed potatoes and suffered serious injuries inside one of the chain's restaurants.
They get you every time.
Now, the thing is, with the lack of customers and the lack of service at Outback, I wonder how she was ever found.
She was on the floor for an hour and a half.
According to the court documents obtained by People, Tracy Renshaw filed a complaint over an alleged slip and fall incident that took place May 14th of 2023 at an Outback Steakhouse in Sterling, Virginia. Case originally filed in the county circuit court on March 5th of 2025 before being removed and going to the U.S. District Court on May 27th of this year. Renshaw's complaint states she was walking to the restroom when she slipped on a, quote, foreign substance which appeared to be mashed potatoes, fell face first onto the restaurant floor. Now, according to the complaint, the alleged substance created a, quote, dangerous condition for visitors and caused Renshaw to suffer serious and permanent injuries. Lawsuit alleges there were no warning signs alerting customers to the hazard, claims the restaurant failed to maintain a safe environment.
Isn't it funny because of that restaurant failed near us? We have this perception of the audience that's going there because in Tuscaloosa, one of the managers and one of the bartenders loves our show, and every time I'm in there on a football game day or after a basketball game, it's always packed. But ours here close to us.
Well, it was
horrible
that's
service.
I just do assume, because I don't know other Outbacks I've been to, but I just remember how packed ours used to be and how good the customer service was and really how good the quality of the food was 20, 25 years ago.
We used to go all the time, And but our one particular one was not good.
That's a great point you bring up, though, Dunaway, because I do think, like, if you have a bad experience with one restaurant locally, it's going to impact the way you view them all over America.
The last time I ate at that Outback, eating a salad, and there is a chunk of hair in the salad.
Did you order that?
I did not order the chunk of hair.
Okay.
Well, you're trying to get more protein.
But the manager comes out, and they offered me a free appetizer or a free dessert.
That bloomin' onion, Lance. Those things are invaluable.
It is. It's hard to eat after seeing that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my favorite, I've said it before, one of my favorite lunches in Birmingham's no more than 2 minutes from us now. Last time I was there, massive hair, I've never been back. Just can't do it. Cannot do it. And I used to love that lunch, man. I used to eat it as many times as I could.
Capital offense here. Famous border collie in China with over 1.5 million followers was allegedly stolen and sold to a dog meat restaurant before being eaten.
Okay, now, guys, I don't think they actually eat dog meat in China. Tyler.
Now, the dog named Chutu belonged to travel influencer Juo from China. Now, according to People, Juo often featured Chutu in his travel content, helping the dog become a major star in China. Chutu reportedly went missing in May while Juo was away on a road trip. The dog had been left in the care of Juo's father, who later realized Chuto had disappeared from the family's yard. Now, after returning home, Juo reviewed surveillance footage and reportedly saw two people taking the dog away on an electric bike, then began searching for Chuto with the help of officials and volunteers. According to Asia One, and you know this has got to be a credible outlet, right?
Asia One?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Read them all the time.
Juo later tracked down a man he believed that was involved in the alleged theft. The man reportedly claimed he thought Chuto was a stray that had followed him. Juo rejected the explanation, saying Chuto was wearing a collar and a GPS tracker when he disappeared. It's alleged the man later admitted that Chuto had been sold to a dog dealer for around $25. Duo then learned the dog had allegedly been resold to a restaurant, slaughtered, and eaten.
Did you say to go? No, Shuto.
When Juo confronted the person who killed the dog, he reportedly hoped to recover Juto's remains, but told them they had already been thrown away. Alleged thief and his family reportedly refused to apologize, with Asia One reporting that they had told Juo, quote, "The dog is dead, so stop making a fuss. I did not break the law." Do they eat dogs in China or not?
I don't think that's
true.
true.
Because how can you be a national power or an international power, a world power, if you eat dogs? And this is one step below cannibalism.
It's so easy to get.
They do in certain parts of the country is what I would answer.
You would?
That's my guess.
I'm just saying it's so easy and so much,
savages.
easier and so much cheaper to get other types of meat. Why would you get dog meat?
That's a savage. You can't respect anybody that eats a dog.
That's like when the reports came out that Taco Bell was selling horse meat. I'm like, do you know how expensive it would get to get horse meat? It is so much cheaper just to get beef. Beef is the cheaper option. Why would Taco Bell?
I think horse meat is the cheaper option.
There's zero
according to the computer, yes,
How?
dog meat is consumed in China, but in a niche practice confined to a small minority of the population in specific regions.
Do you know how many
what
horses?
I saw is that 20%, roughly, of the Chinese population has eaten it, even infrequently, once or twice a year.
That's
70% have never tasted dog meat.
Cannot believe they are a world power.
Horse meat per pound
is cheap. I mean, they kill horses all the time. Dog food.
Not more often do they kill cows.
Got horse meat in it.
Yeah.
I think horse meat would be cheaper.
They do not eat dogs in Haiti, despite what you may have heard.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
They're eating our dogs.
And the cats.
They eat dogs in Turkey. That's the other search that came up. No, they do not eat dogs in Turkey. So the three most popular searches, Haiti, Turkey, and China, they do not eat dogs.
Wow. That's all I got today.
So That is just that's just us painting an image of dog eaters around the world.
So, Brownie.
Yes.
Per pound, the cost of horse meat, if you're going with slaughter-bound live horses, like a wholesale price, it's about 40 to 70 cents a pound. And then processed, it's about $2 a pound.
Okay. Well, there you go. I think
So-
beef's cheaper than that.
No way.
What's beef per pound?
It's a lot more than that.
A pound of processed beef.
You can get a pound for 40 cents from a horse?
That's what it says. Wholesale prices
Brad,
are.
I think I'm paying. What am I paying for my steak, and how much?
Well, that's paying retail. I mean, that's paying. This is wholesale.
Ground beef averages $6.90 per pound.
That's That's retail. That's not wholesale. Is that a wholesale or retail
so
price?
retail price on the horse.
I mean,
is
even
$2 a
wholesale is
pound.
not going to be less than half of that. It's not even close.
Well, if Taco Bell started buying it, the price would go up because it's a limited quantity. There's way more beef out there than horse meat.
True.
There
a great point
is,
there.
but horse meat is
But
much
nobody
cheaper.
wants the horse meat. You have to
Not
sell
if
it at
Taco
20
Bell
cents a
starts
pound to
buying
get
it.
somebody to eat
If
horse.
Taco Bell starts buying it, the price goes through the roof.
Yeah. But see, if it starts to flip, if the market ever flips and horse meat becomes in and cow meat becomes out, do you know how slow the Kentucky Derby will become?
Guys, it used to be horses.
We
I
can't run the
promise.
horses anymore. That's too valuable for us. Get those cows out there.
Belmont tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But is this
Stumbled into a sports calendar tie there. How about that?
Yeah, you did. Is this the third one?
The end of the Triple
Is this
Crown.
the end of the Triple Crown? The
no.
Preakness is. Oh, the Preakness.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think so. Did we
I don't
do
know.
the
Maybe.
Preakness?
I don't
Did
know.
the other horse? Did the horse that won the Kentucky Derby win the
don't know. I
Preakness?
just know the Belmont.
Don't bring it up if you don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So
I
we're not-
wasn't gonna bring it up.
That's it. That's the trash today. Brought to you by friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And for those in the chat who remember, occasionally when we may end a show occasionally at 11:48. When we go to 12:04,
They never bring that up,
12:05,
Jim.
I mean, don't ever bring that up.
They
When we
never
go
bring that up.
during football season. When we go all the way to 1 o'clock, sometimes don't worry about
never
that.
mention it. No.
See, what they don't know is you actually keep track of
That's
how
right.
many minutes we've gone
That's
over.
correct,
So
yeah.
Hey,
after
that
this week, you're getting an 11:30
Yeah,
show
that's
next
right.
week.
No doubt.
Hey, I want to tell you, it was 12 really good minutes on the viewing machine.
Over 12. Over 12.
I heard.
Yeah, 12 minutes, 12 plus minutes of a viewing menu today. I tried to budget a show. I mean, I budgeted 10 minutes. You gave me 12.
Tyler said,
I vote
did
for
not
we
get the
don't
memo
need to
that
be
I had 10
organized and we just roll out a show and
Oh, this
if
is
it
us.
goes,
Wait,
if
this
it-
is us organized?
No, I'm just saying
Oh.
if it goes 2 hours, it goes 2 hours. If it goes 4 hours, it goes 4 hours.
Okay.
When we come back with you on Monday, we'll be with you live at 9 a.m. Central Time. Don't forget our friends at Champy's, always bringing the final hour of the show. Use a little Champy's food this weekend, where it's chicken. There's no horse. There's no cow. There's no anything else. It's chicken. Chicken, all right there with Sterling and his fine folks. Brined overnight cooked to order. Go enjoy it for date night or get it to go to enjoy a little baseball in Tuscaloosa or Auburn. Good luck to Auburn, Troy, and Alabama this weekend. Let's do what Lance is hinting. Get 3 teams to Omaha in the College World Series. That'd be a lot of fun. We'll see you on Monday and let you know how everything has played out so far. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.